I guess not quite.
The middle.
Middle. Yeah. Still better to be much. Yeah, almost.
Ready.
I was like, I know, I don't think that actually. Oh, good.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Roll call, Jeremy,
Present.
Elaine, Tim, present, Ross.
Here.
Darla. Here. Jill.
Here.
All right, Pledge of Allegiance.
To the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Are there any adjustments to tonight's agenda?
Yeah, I have an update, but it's not covered by.
Here's the Bible there. Yeah. So, when we get to the meeting calendar, we're just gonna review with everyone about the date for the whole next year, because like, you all know that in February, I don't wanna have our board meeting on Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
Day on a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
But there's other weeks, there's other Mondays during the year that have other things going on. So,
So we should look
we'll
at our
just,
calendar.
yeah, we'll review it. We'll all put on our calendars, we'll review the dates and make sure when we get there.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, consent calendar, June meeting. Did you guys all look at the, did you send out the email this time?
I did not.
Oh, did,
Yeah.
Jill, you sent out the, you sent out the minutes. Okay, did anyone have any updates or changes to the minutes
I
from
did.
last month? No, no. All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as they were sent out from last month. All in favor? Darla?
Okay, so.
Elaine? Ross?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Elaine seconded him.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt right in
Yeah, no, you're.
the middle of that.
And
Our-
I know you've brought me for new business. The only thing that I didn't. The pool expansion committee repairs will include an update from Ross. So we can
Oh, okay.
capture.
Yeah, we can
as
just
go.
capture it in there.
Yeah.
In that
In
one,
the minutes, yeah.
yeah. Okay. I didn't even notice that there were all these extra things under the, usually it's the one line, but anyway.
Yeah.
Pool expansion committee repairs update, are you doing that one?
So, we are, as it says, quoting potential repairs, including cast iron pipes, plumbing issues, windows updates, ADA compliance, chemical storage improvements, which Ross will highlight where we're at with that. We have achieved, improvements for the patio area, which is an attempt to increase revenue opportunities, birthday parties and events. And that's something that we talked about last time, moving forward with. And then I have that's here, a list. You want me to go through all? Sure. Okay, so this is a list of the things that Ross and I, Jill and Amber have been working on as the committee. And then this does not include the expansion with the FCC committee. So this is like, we're doing a subcommittee for improvements and a subcommittee for expansion. Maybe we want to have one that's there.
Yeah.
I made 10, so I think they're here. Sorry.
Did you guys get one?
I'll read Sarah.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah,
There's more.
Okay, so what I'm basing this on with Ross's help and Jill and Amber is there was a site assessment done, an aquatic evaluation report done in 2019 and again in 2022. And Jeremy has pointed out that we have all this assessments that were done, couldn't we find some of the items to run smaller projects since we don't have funding for the larger projects? So I went through both reports and then I summarized where we're at so far. So We have, sorry if I'm yelling.
No, it's just so loud.
Yeah, no, it is.
I can't hear.
Thank you, Kim. I can't hear either.
So we have, and we will include all of this when we post, but there are a number of things that led to the large projects, such as replacing all the cast iron pipes and then taking them around the side of the pool and then redoing the bottom of the pool. So what I was looking for with Ross's help and Jeremy's help, over the last 6 months or so, are things that we can peel out. And the number one thing for the cast iron pipes is number 2. I marked it as high risk because it is. If that were to break, we would be down for a huge amount of time. Rather than cast iron pipe replacement, we looked at relining that cast iron pipes that exist and not digging them up, not rerouting the pipes, just do a relining. So we're on our second quote. We need to get one more quote. It has gone pretty well so far. We have a problem with the surge tank continuing to fill with water that we're trying to solve. So I'll look at you guys if you have any ideas. Amber, we've been stumped by that, as was the guy we're working with. So we need to figure that out. But it continues to fill after the water's up. Really odd. So we just need to figure out why. But the condition of the cast iron pipes were better than expected for the age of the pool and are a good candidate for relining if we can figure out that one problem, because they have to be no water flowing for the relining to set. Is everybody familiar with relining? So like if you were doing this at your house, a plumber would come out, they go into the pipe, same process, a little more complicated because it's cool and it's huge. They go through normally a straight pipe. Our pool's a little more complicated because in 1967, for some reason, they have lots of pipes turning and there's lots of 90 degrees in there, but it can be achieved. And they put a sealer, a liner through it, and then it expands and becomes the new pipe. So the pipe stays in place. If there's some missing sections, they can handle that. They can float a piece of pipe down that covers the hole. We haven't seen any yet. And so even if the part that they haven't been able to finish were to have a crack in it, it would still work. So the cost of that is 5% of what it would cost to dig up the deck, put new pipes, recast the pool, put new gutters, all of that. So the proposal is, as soon as we get buy-off on this and we get the third quote, the first 2 have agreed that it will work, we'll get a third quote. We will be able to do that work if we choose to, out of the existing funds that would have been, we didn't even have a third of the money we needed, right? Maybe. We might have had 25% of the money that we needed.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to use that funding and still have 2/3 of our money left to do the rest of the list. So Jeremy was absolutely right. There are other ways to do these things.
Is it something that we would be ready to do during the downtime this year?
If we can figure out this
Right.
surge tank, it will only take a day,
Oh, wow.
not 3 months, so we won't lose revenue. It has a 10-year warranty, so if something goes wrong in those 10 years, they will put us back in the condition we were in, which was a working main drain type. We do not have to change the remediated drain. We can continue to use a single drain because that's good for another 15 years. We do need to change the cover every 5 years, but we already know that. We're already doing that. The only thing that could impact the length of time we could use this remediation would be if the state changes the law. And according to plan to do that, and I talked to never had a problem. Same company, highly recommend them. So we'll probably depend on pricing.
It was installment sales, I think.
So, and things have improved since then. So they actually considered redoing it to get more value out of it, but they said they had it scoped and they said it's in perfect condition. So they're continuing to use it. But not having to change the main drain is the touchy part. If OHA at some point says they're done extending, then we can still cut into the liner change the main drain, put a second drain on the bottom of the pool or the side, whatever we decide. We'd have to repair that section, and hopefully we didn't crack it too bad, because then it would get more pricey. But it's doable. The liner itself can be modified.
So that will be the next project we end up saving for. after we
Exactly.
Fix all the bad stuff.
Yeah, so if we get through all of this, then we immediately go back to saving for the big project, but in the meantime, we've reduced the risk that we're currently under. And
During-
since we've known about this since 2019, so I think it's a good idea to take care of it.
During the process, it sounds like there's a risk of it cracking.
Yes, a slight
Um,
risk, yeah.
Is there, do they discuss the risks of like the pool, if it not working, and then the pool would have to be shut down due to like the line that
He
cracking
said-
beyond repair?
He said there's no, both guys said, of course, there's no 100% guarantee, but it could be repaired. So it's not that the entire, like when we were gonna change the gutters, all it would have taken is one mistake and the whole section could have fallen. But because we're working flat, it might cause cracking, but it should not affect the sides, because the main drain's right in the center.
Would they cover the costs if there was, the worst case scenario, would they cover that kind of thing in the warranty? If they caused, okay. As I was wondering, or could this balloon up to be, a quarter of the price or half the price of the?
It could, I mean, that would, repairs like that would probably be another 20,000-30,000, but I still don't think we're gonna get to 100,000.
In cracking, we're talking about the liner cracking, not just pipe itself cracking.
Liner cracking, they'll cover, but the pool
The
shell,
pipe. My issue is if they come in and do the install, currently it's okay. It's not in a good position, but it's working.
Right.
If they come in and install this and then it falls apart or it would cause it to get worse, who's gonna cover that? Or I think we need to have money set aside for
and we,
that type of
so we have
failure.
350,000 was your high end,
Okay,
and we're hoping this would be 60 to 100.
okay, so there'd be nothing there to,
There'd be enough.
Emergency
We would do this first after your subject, but nothing we're doing on that side is high dollar. And so this is the highest dollar thing we would do. We'd do it, get it done, and then move down the list.
So my high dollar, we're looking around the $60,000 range-ish.
The range is 45 to 60 with no problems, no issues, no.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
that.
So I
So doable.
just automatically almost double, so I figure 100. Doesn't mean we're gonna spend it, but,
Even at 100, solving the one thing that could shut us down.
yes,
The biggest problem.
the biggest
Yeah.
problem we have is if we come in one morning and the pipes are broken overnight, we'll be Corvallis, or they're gonna be down for another 2 years. And now they're $2 million short after they got the lottery money. I was like, just get down. You'll
You know what we could do with that?
and then the second item there would be the drain, but that's a legal issue. Not so
The
much
drain
a-
is a legal issue. We are functional and remediated. If they choose to say we will not accept any work on that main drain line without that, that would add another 45,000. But that's still okay,
Would,
because then that would be off the list.
would it make sense to plan those two repairs at the same time? To doing it? in
If
addition?
it is bad enough, we can move forward, according to OHA, we can move forward during the shutdown. If it either isn't that bad, that it's not an urgent situation, which I think we already passed that line because there is cracking.
Mhm.
Then we would go through an OHA review, which is 6 to 9 months. So we'll see what the final condition call is. And then in that OHA review would probably come the conversation about the drain, which would be another year. So I think our highest risk is another 2-year delay. Personally I don't feel comfortable continuing to kick this down the road.
Yeah, but delay, you don't mean the pool shut down, you mean delay as in political paperwork, delaying the project.
Could be you can't run in this condition.
Gotcha. So if for some reason they find something bad, then
And they make us change the drain too, and we don't have enough funding, or it takes them 6 months to approve the plan. It just keeps adding up.
but that's a risk almost.
It's a risk.
The moment we rip in
anytime,
there,
you know,
yeah.
you dig a hole in your front yard, that's.
So because of the conditional pipes are in though right now, we can
I think we
It's
can
under-
call it urgent.
or emergency
Mhm.
repair.
Yeah,
So we
remember-
don't need the
Yeah.
OHA.
Yeah, we talked to
Approval, yeah.
the project management
Yeah.
team about that and they agreed.
Yes.
If there's cracking, that's usually enough.
Right.
And then we would still in parallel do the paperwork, but we wouldn't have to wait.
And just, I'm having trouble keeping this cracking straight in my head. So we're not talking about liner cracking, we're talking about pipe cracking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Cast iron. So it's not, I'm sorry, it's not leaking because we'd be seeing air bubbles at the top. But we remember that one time there was air bubbles in the pool. I don't know if you were part of that meeting, but yeah. So they never really found the cause for that. And OHA said, yeah, that could easily be like an early sign. So I think they would go along with the urgent classification.
So I think it's been urgent for over a year now.
So for all the other items,
Mhm.
when do we have to wait to see how number 2 goes before we see about the? Is
I
that
think so, but I think we're within a month.
And I just was curious about the ADA requirements. What is?
So let me just back up one second. And I'll get to that right now. So that line, okay. So I think our highest risk, even though that would shut us down, is we actually have a safety issue with the chemical storage, and Ross is gonna speak to this. But this is a low, what I should have done is do a column for price. So this is low dollar, high risk because of safety. Pool ops is high dollar, high risk because it's the cast iron pipes. The third one, facility ADA requirements are not being met. Some of it is because rules have tightened in the years, of course, since the pool was built. This particular finding, however, came out of the 2019 report, was repeated in the 2022 report, and personally, I feel was a complete miss by the board that they did not remediate this. We do not have legal ADA restrooms, and Jill helped me understand what it was that it's not, and you had talked to Live Health, and they basically told us we should call it a changing room. The ADA locker room that, or
The family dressing room. that we
family
have.
dressing, right, turns into an ADA dressing room, so it's fine for that. But the shower and restroom would, the shower is accommodated by the 2 showers, men's and women's, those are fine for ADA. The restroom is not fine because we only have the narrow stalls in both the men's and women's. It's okay to use this restroom, but it's not optimal. The measurements are off.
You mean
So
the
it
family
passed,
one?
yeah, the
Okay.
family. So it passed in the past, things have tightened up. I think we just need to bite the bullet
Is it
and do the
wheelchair?
right thing.
Is it the width is the
That
wheelchair
will
won't
pass.
fit in?
That'll, yeah.
So,
and
so
we
with that one
worked
there,
that
do we
out.
just rip out a toilet and expand the second one? So we just lose a toilet?
Yeah, so so we have 3 toilets in the women's, we'll go to 2, and we'll take 2 stalls to make one larger one. In the men's, we have 2, we'll go down to 1, keep 1 urinal, 1 stall, and then that second toilet, second urinal will become 1 partition. So we have that quoted from 3 different people. So we can move forward with that, but we need to do the money. I think we move forward with that regardless of the pipes, because
Yeah,
it's
that's what I wanted to know.
it's not a huge number.
You talking about ADA?
So in the women's bathroom, I've seen the men's, they have a much spacious more
Yes,
area, but in the
women's
women, even, if you put the
We're
ADA.
gonna pull the things.
I was gonna say,
I'm
you're
not-
gonna have to.
I'm not
okay.
saying I'm deciding for you. I'm saying
Right.
in conversation with Amber and Jill and
Right.
three plumbers,
Yes,
we decided there's just no way to make it work.
you just couldn't fit a wheelchair, but even if you changed it out
There's
and
not-
made a bigger one,
Yeah,
you
there's
would
just
have
no
the
way.
sink issue, so
Mhm.
move the sinks to somewhere
All
else.
the sinks use, there's a 4th sink or 3rd sink facing out into the restroom,
Oh, okay,
into the hallway.
right,
I mean, it's right around the corner. So they have 2 sinks facing the partitions.
right,
Around the corner is a 3rd sink. We'll keep that. 1 sink is legal.
okay,
2 restrooms. I think we'll go ahead and we'll keep the front one and the middle one, and the middle one, we'll put a partition across there.
right,
So it'll be a very large single handicap spot,
Okay.
ADA spot.
Perfect.
And then in the men's, it's easier.
Yes, because they have
plenty.
much more room in the men's.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
No, there's a storage space or some
It's just,
equipment in there. And so when we were doing the
yeah.
RFP, we had to walk through there and I was like, oh my gosh.
I know,
look
I've
how
never been in
huge
there
this
either.
is.
I'm like, what?
There's an entire pool in there too, we don't tell you about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, we just had a conversation earlier about moving the family locker, like cutting the showers in half and moving the family locker room into that space and putting a new wall. But I think this is gonna be the critical point that we at least deal with this
Right,
first.
yes.
And then we'll talk, these are improvements. We'll have a completely separate conversation about expansion.
Right.
And at that point, then we will have a modern, up-to-date restroom in our plans. For now, I think these are workarounds, but legal workarounds, so
Exactly.
it'll be helpful.
And I would suggest when you're moving through that you bring somebody in a wheelchair
Yes,
and you have them, because I've seen so many times, it's like, oh, that looks good, and then we talk about.
so actually, I was gonna ask you if you would help, because you
Yeah,
had
I-
offered, and there is a wheelchair here.
And I could,
Yeah.
I could do that, but.
Yeah.
But getting in.
Yes.
It might look pretty, but then you can't.
Exactly. I'm also going to recommend and I'll bring the quotes and everybody will see everything. But I'm gonna recommend that we use the partition company contractor rather than trying to do it ourselves or getting a handyman in. Just let them, will be completely legal. The cost is about the same as anybody we pay locally. And this is what they do for a living and they'll guarantee their work.
Yeah.
Whereas otherwise, we're telling a handyman how to do it.
Right, right.
That's not so great.
Within liability, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, and then the dedicated locker room, what is today the dedicated ADA changing room and family changing room. For now, I think we remediate it, because it does give us more capacity. But as part of Ross's presentation, you'll learn that we're gonna have to move the chemical closet. And I think I've been after that space for a while. So I think we take over that closet, make that a family locker room, combine, maybe at that point, we're combining the bathroom too.
Take the wall between them.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, we'll just look at it.
Right, right.
But by the time we get there, we'll have done everything else. I think we do the ADA requirements. It's not a big dollar item. We just do it right.
So this chemical, the simple storage, is it that the chemicals are appropriately stored?
Yes.
And so Ross is gonna talk about that.
Ross has got to,
Okay.
okay, and then the next facility is more cast iron pipes. These are actually the plumbing for the restrooms. We had them scoped. There is a risk of failure and breakage, which would shut the pool down. But they are in better shape than anybody expected. So same thing, we can line them and get another 10 years out of them minimum.
Well, going down to 2 toilets help the flushing problem.
No, they actually think that is a vent, either lack of vent on the roof. So we need a plumber that can talk with vent and can get up there and figure out what's wrong.
Okay.
It's just old stuff was the answer I got. And then if it's bad enough, when we do the expansion, we'll probably pick the restrooms up and either move them closer to the parking lot this way or closer that way, but we'll just get out of this plumbing that it's not great for anyone.
Okay.
Okay, and then number 5, the windows in the pool natatorium. So these are the windows on the south side. When you're in the pool, there's a double door and a set of windows. Those are single pane. They're cracked. The framing is completely failed. There's been a number of attempts to improve it. And the latest attempt was putting pool noodle strips to hold the glass to the frame, which is creative, but not necessary. So I do know why, I understand all these projects were being kept in a bucket for the big change. And Jeremy, I can't tell you how much I appreciated that comment you made. It just turned the light on for me. It's like, what are we waiting for? Some of these things are just simple. This is a good example. It's expensive if you replicate what we have there. So had a window company come out, they're like, yeah, 80 to 100. I'm like, it's a window. So I worked with Amber. We started looking around. I'm like, well, we've got these roll roll-up doors in the back, and I've always forever wanted to put glass across one of the strips. So while we had them out, just to get more light in the back of the pool, while we had them out, I was like, well, why don't we do one of those where the windows are? So we quoted it, and it's under 18,000. I think it's like 15,500 compared to 80.
I do have a question. As much as I love natural light, what would the cost difference be to just seal everything up and use
It'd be more.
lights more? Okay.
I also
Because
think that
then-
natural light brings in.
Yeah.
Swimmers enjoy the natural light here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an indoor pool with natural light, which is a little bit rare.
Yeah. Plus,
Windows
it-
just create
it
risk
creates,
and
glare and some risk, and that's the problem we have with that window now. It's because it's single pane that never should have stayed around as long as it has, but it did. But the other thing is you would have to re-beam everything. So this is the exact same setup on the south wall as it is on the west wall. And because they go above the frame, they use the beam to hold the door, but they've got the long, I don't know if you know that.
most of they would be putting in rolling doors.
Yes.
Vertical,
Gotcha, okay.
but all glass.
All, what, fiberglass or something, not real glass.
No, real glass. So just like the glass garage doors that are.
I know they're getting hard glass these days, but man,
Yeah.
moving glass just feels like,
Well, and we don't have to. The nice part is it's significantly cheaper, and the only time you would really open it is in the future when we have an expansion project that gives us a hallway up there, then we could put the door up, and then the pool could be accessed, and when you don't want to have lifeguards on the big pool, the door could be.
I like the
closed.
idea, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, my only concern would be you're moving glass up and down.
Yeah, no, no.
What is the stress points on that glass?
So they came out, they did a whole engineering study, which I can share with you if you want, but this is Valley overhead doors. It's been the most helpful. If you're on the 34 going to Corvallis, they built a new building and they have a 3-story glass window, which he said they're installing all over the valley in like big barns and stuff, and theirs is all glass and it goes up and down every day.
So how long have they had one of those installed for?
3 years in their site, 15 years in sites around Macomb.
Sounds like it's proven then.
There's a newer technology where they stack the glass panels. And he said they have not installed one of those yet, so he didn't think we should be the first victim of that.
Right.
They're gonna put it in at their place, and he goes, then in the future, we'll have some history with it, but it's brand new to the manufacturer.
Will that come with a warranty as well?
Yes, has a 10 to 15-year warranty, depending on which package we.
That would be a
Nice.
beautiful solution.
Yeah,
It would
I was
look wonderful.
so happy. Amber and I were, she could tell you, we were both going, hey, and when it turned out to be cheaper, I was just like, oh my goodness. So I'm actually gonna pitch you guys on this too, just to add glass to the back. So first of all, they have not been very well maintained. So our back doors, there's 4 roll-up doors that are vertical. They don't fold, they just go straight up the back wall. They need a maintenance round, which Amber had requested and Jill agreed. And that was, I think, $400. I think we should definitely do that. And that's just basic maintenance. That can happen, your decision. whenever
Oh,
you
that's
want to
good,
schedule
yeah.
it. Have them come out, they want to check the tension, and they said over time, they can wear out, the springs can wear out. The last thing you want is some spring zooming across the pool and hitting somebody. So we'll do that. And then I think I want to reprice the single row of black. I think we could replace the entire door at this rate, depending how the pipes go. Assuming we have some money.
But yeah, you start doing that, then people are gonna be wanting to plant garden and stuff outside. That'll make it like
Put the new patio furniture out there. and you can
Exactly,
see
yeah.
it.
beautiful
Yeah,
and scenic, that would be
Yeah,
amazing.
Amber's got a picture of it out there.
Yeah,
So,
Beautiful new furniture.
oh, thank you. I think
I love
it's nice.
start getting some resort vibes around here.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we're trying to pull in that generation, right, with little kids, and they expect more for their dollars, so. I think if we're gonna raise our rates, we need to be worth it.
So we're talking the maintenance on the existing roll-up doors, are you talking, what, did you already address the, putting the glass in there, or?
I have a quote for it. I think we can decide. whether
Oh,
we
but that's
want
not what
to
you were.
Yeah, It's still
Sorry.
within maintenance. No, it's within the maintenance money. I would go ahead, and suggest that you might wanna have them just look at the springs, because even if we only do the strip, we get new springs with that quote.
Oh,
But if we do all glass, we'll have to do heavier springs. And he
Okay.
can tell us whether ours are, they couldn't, he said they're heavier than they should be, so they might be
Well,
sufficient.
so why would we spend the money doing a maintenance check if we're
Because
about?
there's other parts. There's,
Okay.
yeah, there's other components to this and the actual way they mounted. So they went up a beam and then they added some plywood to it.
They wouldn't just do all that along with the glass
Um,
modification?
He would give us a credit if we go ahead and do that.
Okay, well, that's even better.
Did we end up putting new vents at the bottom for those ones that were
We
broken?
started, that project, we solved it. It never, to my knowledge, got completed. Amber and I walked around and they were not finished. So that should be on the list of
Vents under the, garage doors
Yep.
in the back.
all the way around the room. So
Right.
what was found is the cement was cracking and it was a trip hazard. That was a $150,000 price point on the big project, but that included digging up the deck and replacing all the
Gotcha.
visible tripping part is just a simple heater vent. And then some cement around the edge, and that's just it.
Okay, we'll get
I
that
think
done.
2 or 3 of them might have sort of started. Yes, that would be a good item for you. Okay, I'm sorry, I know I'm
No,
going
you're
forever
fine.
here. Family locker room, I mentioned about maybe we can steal that closet, and the one thing I don't know if I got a chance to talk to you, Ross, but, Amber agreed and Jill agreed that we can probably just swap this closet for the current chemical closet. But the one that has a problem, because chemical closets are not allowed to open onto the natatorium, and that one does.
Oh, it does, yeah.
So if we take the storage closet, put this stuff over there, then later we'd look at making it an ADA locker room. But as a temporary workaround, I don't know if Amber had a chance to talk to you.
Mhm.
Yeah, but just swap it. Seemed like a good solution. So,
Okay.
and that's up to you guys, but we got to do something.
Whatever we need to do is.
Yeah, all the whole building, we looked at the drawings, and there's just no other room that doesn't open onto the pool, either by drift, because they're worried about fumes drifting, whether they drift from the locker room out or showers out, everything else opens to the pool.
Yeah.
And the original storage, probably how the school originally did it, there were storage rooms opening to the outside in 3 locations. Those were all taken away at some point, like the boiler, the new
Mhm.
boiler, that used to be a separate room. There was another one up, the women's restroom that opened to the outside. So they just over the years shut things up, took walls down, and we end up with not much internal storage. So there's that. And then
So
air.
let's take that whole room. I don't know what.
This is Amber's, you got everything in there, right? Safety
Lifeguard
stuff.
Well, I know,
lifeguard.
because I remember when we were.
Yeah, when the door was open. So just swap it.
Yeah.
So we'll leave, what Amber and I talked about is leave behind any, and she'll work with Ross, leave behind anything that's expired. You know, we don't use it anymore, we don't need it, we just have these chemicals sitting around because we bought them. I think leave whatever you don't want in that chemical, in that current room for disposal. There's 5 different cleaning solutions.
Yeah.
And then keep buying the same thing instead of buying all these different things. And that room has a sink. This one does not. So I don't think you will be able to do chemical, but you have that portable sink.
Right.
So you can check out all that.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
And the chemical storage doesn't have to be where the chemicals are mixed. or-
Right, right.
So you can have a separate area.
And you had mentioned in your experience that you use carts, you know, with the
Yeah.
side. I think that's something we should quote.
Well, I was just gonna say that, there was a thing that said that in the chemical storage room, like there's not supposed to be water stored
Oh,
in certain ones, and so if there's a sink in there, that's water, I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point.
I guess if you have dry chemicals, they need to stay in a dry area.
Yeah, that's something Ross could maybe work with. you.
Much drier in
And
here.
Yes.
I like the card idea, because then if you need something, you just take the card out, you do what you need to do, and then you put the
Yeah.
cart back.
And you said it's because OSU requires that.
Yeah, and You want me to just go over the chemical stuff now?
Yeah, well, can I do one more?
Yeah.
Air quality detector, we had an incident, 2 weeks ago where Joe could smell chlorine, I could smell it, Amber couldn't, because we found out Amber can't smell chlorine. So we should have some kind of detection system.
Her
that
eyes, her eyes
You can taste it, her eyes
get red
get
and her,
Yeah.
and her
That's
tongue
terrible.
swells up.
But you never know. I never thought about that. If there's little kids in the pool and they can't smell it, they're not gonna complain. They're just gonna ingest it. So we need to look. There's actually a requirement to have one outside to have the detector inside the storage area and the display before you go into the room, which makes perfect sense, right? So you don't walk into fumes.
Yeah.
Do you do that at your work?
Well, I'm not sure on that. There are requirements for that for certain types of gases. I'm not sure if we have any of those.
I'm not sure if it.
When I looked up, we don't have any, because those air quality detectors are rather expensive
Yeah.
and
A little pricey.
just to maintain calibration on them. You can detect things with a lot of tools. As an example, nitrogen is a common work hazard because it can displace oxygen in the rooms, and so people utilize personal alarm systems in areas where there's liquid nitrogen, because a liquid nitrogen vessel contains tons of gas, and if at room temperature it can expand out, so you have these alarms. And those alarms are kind of, the joke is like, you see someone on the ground with that thing going off, you don't go in the room. There's nothing you can do to help. So sorry for you as for other people. But nonetheless, they're like Geiger counting those. Once it goes off, it's too late. But the reality is that those are like a 2-year calibration or somewhere along those areas, and they're hundreds of dollars for those personal types of alarms.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah.
But I don't know if they have anything of that nature for chlorine. I also don't know if chlorine is something that is easy to detect. There are volatile detectors out there, which some are for personal use or like interest can be affordable. But if you were doing it like a lot of times what I've seen is that lower level alarms for like explosives. So if you have like a gasoline storage, you would have a detector that will tell you when those fumes have reached a lower level.
You do those at gas stations.
Yep, and there's requirements, but we shouldn't be storing anything of that nature.
I think it's volume. I looked at the ORS and then the OSHA requirements, because it points you to OSHA, and it's based on how much we store. So I mentioned to Amber and Jill, I think our first, and you, I believe, agree, our first solution is we should not be storing as much as we are, and then we get away from at least 90% of the requirements, right? We're just over the line. So I think we bring it down to maybe if we stay with barrels for a while we're figuring this out, we go down to 3 barrels. And you can separate storage, but we also don't have anywhere else to store it, so that doesn't work for us. But if we go to 3 barrels, I know you guys were quoting the safety stuff that Ross is going to talk about. But I just wanted you to think about, some kind of monitor, and did it make sense? Okay.
We can look up that item.
Yeah.
When I originally looked at, I wasn't seeing on any of the Oregon OSHA lists of gases. None of the chemicals that we deal with were on. So again, quantities and whether or not we want to have that for a comfort for our guests, I think we can still discuss the air quality protection. Okay, so for the first item we have here is on our safety. I didn't work for an hour, so I wasn't able to get a full copy out of it for the meeting.
Can you maybe email?
Yeah, and this is what I sent to you, Darla.
Yes.
And I can get
or I could pass my phone.
And I was going to do the same here. So mainly,
Or I can send it to. Did you email me?
Yeah.
Or can we do that?
Well, I can just pass my phone around and everybody can take a look at the pictures. Mainly just look at the pictures and then I'll go over the verbiage. But I want everyone to kind of see the room. So it's a chemical storage area that's attached to the building, opens towards the south side of the parking lot. And we did an assessment of it, and we found that there are a couple issues. We also did the assessment of that storage locker room, or sorry, what do I call it? This janitorial closet.
Has chemical.
And also the men's room has a water system for the warm pool, which are not picked. Neither of those areas are pictured in this one. I think that we need to discuss those in the future, but right now we're focusing on that. I'm called the main chemical storage room, which is for the main pool.
And that's why I brought up the swapping the
Look at the
closets.
form on the public, but you, seeing the pictures, just pictures right now, I'm gonna go to the roots. Just so I can give you a visual of the.
All right. So
Let me just say, that was the reason I brought up swapping the closets, because I think that's something Jill and Amber can decide, and then we'll look at the big picture after that.
Thank you.
If it gets loud, I'll close it, yeah.
so
That's better.
Yeah.
the first item is the chlorine and the first item is chlorine and acid proximity. We have uric acid and sodium hypochlorite, which that's chlorine. When mixed together, they form what's called chlorine gas, which is very dangerous to humans. And we have large volumes of both of them in that room right now. Both of them are open to the air. That's what the picture is showcasing. And there's no secondary containment around them. And so if some strong wind were to come in and blow those two things over, which is highly unlikely, but could occur, they would mix together and form a hazardous material called chlorine gas. And so that is, I think, what Darla prompted this evaluation and is looking into this more. The long-term solution we need to try to address is getting spacing between them. Preferably, they wouldn't be in the same area, but as we just discussed, our options are limited. So at least a physical barrier that separates the two, so that way in a leak or a spill, they wouldn't have a chance to mix. The second item, and I have a OAR 437-004-1680, section 1A, goes over the need to keep those separated. So that is a requirement. So this showed up on that evaluation we had as an action item we need to address. So as a board, we are expecting prompt correction of this as it was identified earlier and per the Oregon code. No secondary containment on it, which in that same section, but now 5-G, requires hazardous materials, which these two materials are, to be within secondary containment. So what that looks like is there's several options. One I'm familiar with is like a bathtub that's like maybe 6 inches to a foot tall, and they have a rubberish material that's compatible with the hazardous materials, and it will contain any from a leakage or so breakage on the vessel or somebody tipping it over. It will contain all that within, so that they won't have a chance to mix. And as a note, that area is right now just on a concrete slab with a taper that goes towards the surge tank. And so if one of these big drums of chlorine were to spill, it would go right into the surge tank, which will then be redistributed out into the pool area. And as you mentioned, without air quality detection, that detection time could be pretty late. And so, yeah, the two mixing together might be kind of a fantasy issue, like two of the acid and the chlorine both spilling at the same time. But a real issue is that spilling out and then going pretty quickly into the swimming area through that drainage. So we need to have a secondary containment, not only for the code, but also for the safety of our patrons.
And we do have them on order.
Okay, perfect.
And one other concern would be the loading and unloading by the service company that's delivering the barrels. They come in, you had mentioned quarterly, I think there's 10 or 12, which is where we get into how much do we want to But that's supposed to be, I was reading, it's one of the most risky moments, right? It's when the switch
Makes
is
sense.
being
Does
done.
does it help us if we have the roll-up door over there, that they can come right there into the
The
closet?
door actually opens to the parking lot and it's nice, everything's fine, and the school built it
okay.
that way. It's missing some things that Ross will talk about, but if it goes that way, we have a different problem.
Right.
If it goes into the pool, we have
Yeah.
a serious problem.
So, secondary containment will help with that, and then there's always dangers and risks with all these types of things. But so loading the chemicals at delivery, not when the pool's full of people. Having there are lots of additional operational changes we can make to make things safer. But secondary containment is one of the OAR requirements that we have when we're storing chemicals that are hazardous like this.
That with
Yes.
some items that Jill and Amber has to talk about. I was thinking, long term, this is all workarounds to get us fixed as soon as possible, but maybe we move to a tank system. So the tank actually, if there's a leak, drains into itself, and then you also need detection then to know that there's something in the tank. But then the delivery is much safer, and the delivery fees for the barrels, which is the most expensive part, it's not the chlorine, it's the delivery.
Mhm.
Then that gets limited because you don't have to come as often.
And one thing not mentioned here, but we had a discussion in our meeting was the shelf life of chlorine is shorter than you might expect. Clorox, which is the most common chlorine out there, has like a 1 or 2 year shelf life. Would they recommend you using it? But chlorine itself, the active ingredient, does diminish over time. Even sealed and properly stored, it does have a shelf life that's in the year basis. And what that means is its potency decreases pretty rapidly. And so Darla's suggestion is that we don't go over a 90-day supply, which is about that half-life of its potency. And so if we store a year supply, for instance, then half of that material will become half as valuable. So we'll lose out on half its chlorine and just become salt water. And so then we need to put more chlorine in, or we empty our barrels twice as fast to get as much active material in there. And so we're losing investment. So sometimes we might save money on doing a large order, but we need to find that medium point of when is it going to lose its potency versus how much does it cost if we did it. Daily delivery would be out of the question, but we can figure out that sweet point in there. Temperature has a huge factor in it. And so as the temperature goes up, that will raise up. So the difference between 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside versus 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside is the slopes change drastically. But operationally, we can discuss how you guys would like to put that in place. I think the storage volumes is one end of that, and then also cost and operations is another end of that decision point. Okay, so the next item on that list, so that kind of covers the chlorine and acid danger that we have in the room. And the acid is used for the pH balancing. The chlorine is used for the sanitizing of the water. So we need to have both of those in there. The next item is now kind of more towards the warm pool. No, I'm sorry. This is still on that. Handling of that chlorine, the sodium hypochlorite. Right now it's open to the air. And so a person will pull the tube out and put it into the next jug, and then it'll start flowing from there. There's some dangers of handling chemicals. So wearing gloves, proper clothing, closed-toed shoes, all these types of things. That's important. And another thing is having that thing open, the vessel open to the air is reducing that potency even further. And so having a sealed cap with a more whether it's a quick connect fitting, how you get it to move, but instead of having a tube that's been submerged in a chemical, pulled out and then handled by the hand, having a better changeover system would improve safety for the person handling it, and also improve the shelf life of the chemical, so save us money.
Longevity.
Yes. So it's whatever small cost might make to make those connections or whatever is going to be realized pretty quick with chlorine usage. And of course, safety for our staff is always important.
Ross,
And-
are you the material the room is constructed and we went around to the other side and it is connected to the prominent.
Yeah, so I did mention that of how it's, if it were to fall, it's without secondary containment, it will go into the surge tank. So
But
it's,
actually what I meant was the tubes themselves are going through like hand drilled holes.
there's the conduit there.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not, there, I think those are some other items that can be addressed operationally for improvements, and especially during the improvements. Right now, I'm mainly going over where we are in violation of codes
Yeah.
and where we need to immediately improve.
Mhm.
I think that continuing improvements can be done, and we can address that in our budget for pool improvements. But my main concern is where we currently out of compliance.
So we're
So,
completely out of
Yeah,
compliance.
like if dusting the room would be great. And better late, no Oregon code on some of those items. And the conduit, it could be better, but
I was
these
thinking
are-
more of
Yeah.
I think, like, because it absorbs into the wood and then, God forbid there were ever a fire, it'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
And that's kind of where I think we start moving our mindset to a more actual chemical storage, not just shoving chemicals in the corner.
Yes.
With those types of improvements will come up. So I don't have that on the item, but the last important item I had, and also the secondary containment goes for the warm pool area as well, not just the main one. Ventilation is the last item, and there's a document. It's listed in here, so when it's sent out, you guys can get the full code. But it's in the OHA, so Oregon Health Authority put out the Oregon Public Aquatic Facility Rules. Inside of that, these are rules from the OAR 333-062. So that's where they're referencing, they're trying to meet the code for. And then in ventilation within the Oregon Public Aquatic Facility, sorry. I mispronounced some of that, but there needs to be forced ventilation inside of areas that store CO2. And so in one of those pictures that showcase, I'm going to pass around again because we're kind of shading topic. There's a vent that goes in the ceiling right above a CO2 tank. And I'm assuming that's what that was used for. It's currently not in operation, but there seems to be some infrastructure there ready for it. And they permit in there the use of carbon dioxide, so compressed carbon dioxide for balancing the pH of pools. But with that comes also the requirement that you have forced ventilation in that storage area.
So it's not operational?
We didn't see it in operation.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that remedy will look like, but and then again, this is off of a manual put out by the Oregon Health Authority for exactly our purpose. And I put it in there to mainly highlight that this was one of thousands of items on that document. I didn't have time to review the entire document. So I would like to recommend from the board that we review that, whether it's by staff, by board, that document and the OHA's Oregon Public Aquatic Facility Rules, and see maybe you guys do inspections or walkthroughs, but see where other violations we may have and correct them now before an issue arises. And then that's when there's these types of so if there were a CO2 leak or a major issue and somebody was injured or killed, that's when this rule book will come down on us. So now while there's no violation, or so while there's no incident, we should be catching these violations before the incidents occur.
Yeah.
Because if we aren't doing that, and we need to document those changes, we need to document the inspection of it, or our good faith of trying to have the best facility we can. I think one of those good starting point would be reviewing that Oregon Public Aquatic Facility rule book, and maybe just addressing one item per week, per month, or whatever, but it's keeping a new set of eyes on what is actually happening in the pool. Because Darla and I, neither one of us operate a pool as a day job. And so when we come in and look at things, we're seeing it through different eyes than perhaps somebody that is a lifeguard who goes, that's the way we've always done it. So,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And I like the idea, maybe we take 5 or a section or something.
Yeah.
work through it. And we can do working meetings if we need to.
but I don't even want to know how many other rules we might be in violation of. Like, if we were superhumans that could see that, all that, that'd be wonderful, but we're not. But I think that if we were to have good faith in trying to improve the pool operations and safety and document it, then the regulatory boards would have more grace with us if we are in a violation.
And we do have the 2 assessments that were done
Yeah.
from that perspective. And we are addressing everything that was documented by those assessments, so.
But having good record of that, I think will help
Yes.
significantly. Because some of these items just aren't foreseeable to correct with the size and facility that we maintain.
But things like the ventilation, right? So we fixed you were thinking it pushes out the ceiling, but then we saw the one where it has to come off the ground.
Yeah, and there is verbiage inside that linked code of how to perform that. So the direction and flow.
I'm sorry, how about this room? If there's no vent on this door, which you're thinking, we could do a vent like that, right?
Right, yeah, yeah.
So we could add. a vent.
Generally, OSHA doesn't allow the venting into
Oh, so,
workspace.
so going up should be okay, but we might need a fan that pulls the air up. So if it settles at the floor, it's only dry.
But the venting, my issue with it there, for instance, we have food storage in here. We have
Oh, yes,
this,
I agree.
so we need to keep that in mind while we do this work groups to follow the OSHA guidelines for safe workplaces and not take a chemical that is dangerous and shove it somewhere that would pose more risk.
This would be dry, not
I'm
chlorine or
thinking
the.
it's all dry, right? There's
Yeah.
no liquid in the,
No,
just cleaning supplies.
well, I mean, that can be put somewhere else.
Yes, true.
It'll just be separated, but.
Okay,
I
so
don't
still a
think
little
there'd
bit of
be
conversation.
ventilation in the janitor closet.
Correct, yeah. There used to be an outer door, which is interesting. for that
Yeah,
room.
okay.
Yeah.
And
This actually, just so you know, Ross, is the old hallway to the high school. And there's an equal amount of space on the other side, so.
We
were
can vent it to
thinking
the high
maybe,
school.
well, we could probably get to the outside. I think we can get to the outside because it's just a rectangle. So there, it's not into another room, it would actually go to the side. But we're hoping Joe can maybe talk them into giving us some more storage out of that hallway. And then it's the gym on the other side of it.
yeah, I think that we need to evaluate the locations we have
Yes.
and to see which ones meet with the requirements set forth by ORA, or OAR and OSHA. I don't think we have to agree upon where everything needs to go, but first identify what chemicals we have,
Yes.
the quantities we need to maintain, and no matter where they're going, and they need secondary containment. So all these suggestions that we're making right now are going to be useful no matter where they end up living.
Right, correct.
And there are going to be requirements wherever. So,
Because the containment could move with it. Right?
I,
Could you just, before you finish, but then could you also speak about your background? Because there was you were obviously the perfect person for this, so.
Yeah.
You were-
I think I'm about done. So that the ventilation, it will help with safety of people as they go in, and then also meet the requirements of the code. And then the last little bit on here I have is this is the first report on the chemical storage concerns from the improvements committee. We will discuss further concerns and monitor the improvements made. So we like to continue I like to continue these reports probably for the next few months while we hit some of these bigger code items. And then I like to pass it off to Jill to maintain and with her team.
Yes.
And we will then rely more upon the annual assessments that are put forth by or however often we need to do our quality and our outside inspections. So I think that while we try to make these big improvements, we spend a little more time, but I'd like that to be handled eventually by the staff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it has to be part of it. And you are going to be part of the safety committee that
Yep.
Jill and Amber are forming.
Yeah, so I've been helping with safety at my job for a while now, and I have background with the Marine Corps in how to purify and handle water. So from the chemical and safety mindsets, I quite a few years doing that. And what I've always found is you're never good enough to like. There's always improvements to be made. No one's perfect, and so having lots of eyes, lots of opinions, and then allowing everyone to have that safety mindset where, in practice, we always grab the youngest experienced people and some of the older experienced people, like put them together because you get different perspectives from it, not just having one person in charge of it all, but and saying, well, that's their issue. Having everyone's involved with safety, because if that chlorine spills onto the lifeguards and they weren't part of the safety, they can't just go, oh man, I have chemical burns, but that wasn't my fault. Well, everyone is involved with the chemicals. Everyone's involved with the safety of it as well.
Yeah, and Amber's gonna start covering this in your in-service.
Yeah.
So this will be a good opportunity to bring in a new lifeguard who has no background and say, because they will see things that we walk by every day because we're used to it.
Mm-hmm. One common thing we hear is that that's the way it's always been, or that's the way we've always done it. And if that's your answer to something and not a logical reason, so not a good scientific reason of like, we put the tube straight in there because then it's able to extract the lowest amounts. Like, you need to have a reason, and then let's find a solution to move forward from there. But if that's just the way it's done, then you're not having the right mindset going into your safety. And that should be for everything. What tripping hazards, ADA compliances, like as you're doing these types of evaluations, they can be very broad.
And I think this is a perfect example of how the board can benefit the pool. It's by working with the staff. And I know Jill has a deep interest in making sure everyone is safe. But this place has been here a long time. We're all kind of used to it, but fresh eyes is a very good thing.
That vent that you found there, you said inoperational. Did you actually find like an inoperational fan there, or is the fan been totally removed?
We're unaware.
It may be on the roof.
Oh, so it's
I don't know what the power control is for it or anything. Again, this is a visual inspection, and we're presenting it to Jill, so that way we can act upon it.
okay, so it's a deep enough vent that there could be something inside of it.
Yeah, it goes up into the ceiling. We looked around. I was unable to find it. I didn't spend hours tearing up anything. But per the guidelines, we need to have some directional forced air in that area with the CO2. So, and it seems like that was intentionally placed next to it. So years ago when they built this place, they were maintaining
I
that.
like your suggestion of the ongoing list of repair items. It's one thing I always want to and never actually got us to, is a public facing list of just not like, we spent this penny here, but well, this month we fixed this or we did this.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
a running log of generalized items that we're doing at the pool.
So congratulations, you are now getting it.
I have one
It
more.
was a good idea.
I have one more question before we move on. So our next meeting is during shutdown. So are we going to end up having an extra board meeting to do approvals for the bids and things so that we can?
No, because I not to cut you off, everything on here is me.
So we don't need board approval. We have it in the main,
Well, we are discussing it here,
right?
but based on dollar point, except for the relining the pipes, I would think we.
What is the
Because we
dollar?
had about 50,000 in the maintenance
Yeah.
budget, so that would cover almost everything, but it doesn't
Some of
cover.
it is capital too. So
What is the amount that we need for approval?
more than we have in the budget, but some of it's gonna be. capital. So
I just want to make sure we're gonna be
No,
able
no,
to
no, I'm-
do the
yeah.
project during the closure, and that's why I'm asking, because we haven't seen anything, so the
Yeah.
bids or whatever, so it's not like we could do a broad vote to
Correct.
approve whatever,
Correct.
but if we needed to have an extra meeting to make sure that we had whatever approvals in place that we need to, so that things could happen during shutdown, I think that's a valid
So-
thing to do.
And I'm perfectly agreeing with you. I just hadn't thought it all the way through. So the chemical storage is low dollar, cast iron pipe relining. We should talk about, I think, I can say that I think we're good.
So what I'm hearing is it sounds like everything's gonna be fine in the maintenance budget, but board members should be prepared in case we need to throw another meeting in there
I
just
think so.
once the bids come in, just in case, so we can meet this deadline.
Well, and we have to keep in mind that,
You're not ready.
things have to be ordered in order to be here by the time the closure gets here, which is only a month away.
That's why I was asking, because our next board meeting is actually during closure.
Yeah, I'm
So I
sorry.
wanted to make sure
Mhm.
that was covered.
Yeah, I was trying very hard to be completely ready for this meeting, but we have the hang up with getting with Casey, getting the
right.
final camera work
Okay.
done.
Well,
But
It's not
Jill,
ideal, but I mean, if the board members and the public is expecting this unexpected meeting to potentially happen, it won't be a surprise.
yes,
Yes.
yes, that's a good point.
Should we schedule a meeting for the,
Oh, that's a good.
date so that we get your time for ordering things?
I would say as soon as possible.
So,
So let's talk about some of what you're using. So the chemical remediation, you're doing that on a maintenance plan.
That's.
I'm gonna
that's
cover
fine.
the lining, because that seems to be the only item we need to vote on.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing that really, well, the ADA requirements, I don't think we need to do it during closure. We really only need to do things that will affect the pool running, right? And I wanted to talk to you about this because I think we could wait on this.
Okay.
But this is the sand filter getting changed. And you're gonna go with
Glass.
chemically. So who's gonna do the work? Let's talk about it.
We will need to talk about that.
Yeah, so there's a $10,000 or $15,000 price point to change the sand in the filter. Jill and I have been talking about moving to glass media instead, because then you go from a 2-year cycle change to a 6 to 8 year, and it's less
It's
expensive.
less expensive.
And it is also safer for swimmers. There's less chance of contamination. But I talked to Forest Grove. They're going on 20 years with their original sand because they treat it properly.
Mhm.
And the OEM agrees that there's really no reason to change it. You know, it's not just a clock thing. We're at 12 years now and OEM says 10. But if we test cleans, do we really need it? And do we really need to do it in shutdown? Because
Okay. Yeah,
and I'm
that makes
asking,
sense.
I don't know.
No, you treat it, which,
If it's been
I don't
treated,
know.
or if we do need to change it, the pool does not need to be empty. I'm looking at Amber because we had this conversation. Right. The pool doesn't need
so
to
it
be
doesn't
empty,
necessarily.
but
have to be
it will have to shut down for, if we pay them to do the labor, it's a day.
Right.
I think what happened is this was just on the list from the last couple of years and it just rolled to this year. And I would frankly think $15,000 should be spent other ways before that.
And you don't think we should do the ADA or we should discuss it?
I think we should, but I don't think you need to do it during the closure.
Okay.
Because we would still have a working restroom.
Right.
Right. We
So,
still have
yeah.
one stall.
So you may not need a meeting.
We may not, or we may, we just have to see what falls
So
in.
you said you have a stall available, but
We wouldn't take all 3 restrooms down at the same
and
time.
I'm saying, can people come in? But
They can use the family dressing room, but
Okay.
a wheelchair won't fit through there. A walker will.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, does it really need to be closed down? Because.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah. It seemed to me it had to be things closed down. Because if people come in and then they need to get the restaurant.
To remodel that, yeah.
For that restroom, but if we still have the 8,
Yeah.
then the women's comes up to take the men's still, it's just not to code. For,
Question. You made a comment when first off, one of you did about the chemicals and what we have and what we have in the future. Do we have chemicals back there now that we don't need? I mean, are there chemicals there that need to be just?
yeah, there are some chemicals that are carryover from, old batches. There's several different brands. I'm not sure on the operation, which ones are useful, which ones are not, but that'll be part of this chemical storage reevaluation.
So you have,
Identify.
I don't know how chemicals,
So-
I guess.
so number one, we're gonna do, Amber's going and Jill are going to put together chemical inventory at Ross's suggestion, and then we'll have more information. We'll
Yeah,
have
and
expiration
Jim did
dates.
do that,
Yeah,
I
I
have
saw
it.
that.
Oh, good.
It's not complete, it doesn't have when some things were purchased,
Yeah.
but it does have the chemical. the
Does it have
list.
the expiration date?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's probably you need.
That's important, but I know, but it's a start.
Just looking at quantity and knowing what we have, it's easier to discuss.
Right.
Yeah, because
But-
some things maybe it doesn't matter if it's past the expiration, if it's baking soda or something. But why do we have 50 pounds of baking soda?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, for room, for space and also.
Bake sale.
Yeah, I know. It's like, some stuff can just go.
Baking soda is useful for clarity of the pool, so.
Yeah.
There's a reason for some of those things, and that's why I don't want to say yes or no to something, because there might be a special use case only once a year that we need a teaspoon of something. But do we need a 10-gallon container of something? We need a teaspoon of once a year. That's kind of the quantities that Darla was wanting to get
Right.
at.
Because we just don't have the room to store all that.
I would just wonder if there was some chemicals that we needed to actually get rid of.
There isn't like one chemical that's like, in the past, we've had a caustic agent that was federally banned and we need to get rid of in the Marine Corps. That's not what we're dealing with right now. Everything that we have is, I would say, standard chemicals to have around a pool. Whether or not we need as many or the age of them, those are the items that we like to take care of. There's not a obscure material that's a danger per se.
No, it's just the line is going there.
Yeah.
So,
So then the idea that I think you heard me mention was when Amber and Jill move everything over here, they'll just bring from that list what would be used. And then we'll leave behind and we'll figure out how to get rid of whatever it is, right? If it's baking soda, no problem. I would imagine. Yeah,
Keep 2 teaspoons.
but like there's 5 different cleaners, we wait for a hazardous waste thing or, we'll figure it out.
all right. So, is
Okay,
there anything
so-
else about that?
I'm I think what we were discussing though was the pool lining.
I think all the costs have to come in to know the answer to the question.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's
right.
missing quotes. So once everything's in, then you'll know if we need a board meeting or not. So
Yeah.
we can be on standby, like Jeremy suggested. Yes, Elaine will be gone for 2 weeks. So by the time she gets back, there will maybe be some idea
Well,
of,
we need 3, so if everyone is okay with a quorum being enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we know,
What you need.
we know what the.
I think we're all okay with that. Is anyone against us doing the pool lining? Not knowing the dollar amount, but does that sound like a good plan forward? Because if we need to make a decision on what we're gonna do during the shutdown.
Yeah.
So whether or not we agree on the dollar amount, I think we still leave it on that, but does that sound like a good way of spending Darla's time before the pool and Jill's time before the pool shut down?
I love it.
I like the idea of any complaints with it?
Is,
Any
you're
concerns
good
about
with
that?
that, yeah.
and we actually don't have to vote on what's gonna be done during the shutdown.
Oh, okay.
It's really more about the dollars and if we have to move them around, so.
Yeah.
So you
It's
don't
not
need
that-
to
it's
do a
not that-
motion for that, the lining? Okay, you're just
It's-
curious.
It's not.
I was just want to make sure that
Yeah.
if we have a meeting
Yeah,
of 3
if we have-
people, if we vote on it, I want to make sure everyone's voices were heard on that.
Yeah, so there's 2 ways to look at it. If it's an urgent situation where we're leaning into, Jill has the ability to
Right.
make that decision on her own.
Yes,
And as long as we have sufficient funding, which we do in
Yes.
the budget, we really don't need to meet to talk about that. If we're gonna go a different direction, that's gonna boost that price more than, let's say, 100,000. And it's not urgent, then it doesn't matter. We won't do it during shutdown anyway.
Okay.
We'll be in the approval loop.
and I'm not saying we can do cleanup paperwork if we need
Yeah,
to
yeah.
at the next meeting, so it's
Yeah.
not like there's anything that could stop her, as long as we just make sure that we have all the paperwork.
Yeah,
That's how-
and that's why I was hesitating to answer when you asked the question, because really this is a joke call.
So when are the days for shutdown? Exactly.
We're closed, we will be, first day we're closed is Saturday, August 8th. And we'll be closed for 2 full weeks. I'm calling a slush week. That is just in case we need to stay closed longer for a part for anything that comes up.
So you'd reopen on the 31st?
Well, we're hoping to reopen on the 24th. and then have a summer, end of summer, inflatables party but in past, probably, more times than not, we've needed more
The
time.
third week, so it would be the following Monday.
So
of
the 31st for sure. What day is Labor Day?
It's not till the next
Okay,
Monday, so
We
it'd
would-
be open a week before the holiday
would-
weekend.
reopen the 31st. I believe school starts after Labor Day. But we kind of like reset. We put in our fall schedule and do all that 1st of September. So even though there's another week before school starts, we won't have the rec swims. Well, it'll be the new schedule. But we will be doing rec swims. We're going to be doing rec swims every Wednesday through the school year. So we will, it's gonna be a different schedule.
And we'll finalize the rate conversation next month, correct?
The rates are being looked at still, and they're not going up a lot, just a little. And those will go into effect September 1st.
Okay, perfect.
Well, I'm gonna be back the 28th, the 28th, so if you're getting ready to pull, for the ADA, then I'd be glad to come in and take a look at that as far as.
Yeah, I'm not, that was the one thing I wasn't rushing until we had the answer.
Yeah.
But maybe,
Okay,
yeah, they're certainly willing to come out.
all right. So 30.2, system development.
Oh, sorry. And first, thank you, everybody, for listening to all of that. Maybe we should have done that at the special meeting. And Ross, thank you so much for putting so much work into it, and Amber and Jill. This has been a very large conversation the last few weeks. SDC fees, I was able to connect with the consultant. She turns out she does the work for the city also. So that was an excellent opportunity. I got asked to be on the city committee, which led to me being able to connect with her. And she was going on vacation to somewhere wonderful like Austria, and she'll be back in the next couple weeks. So then we'll reconnect there.
And what is her name? Is she with the city council?
Deb Galari. No, she's a consultant.
She's a consultant.
So she's a methodology consultant. So there's 3 elements to SDCs. There's the long-term plan, so the capital improvement plan, basically, and then a methodology, which is a costing factor, and then the actual fee structure, which we would vote on. And after we understand all of those elements, and we'll have a committee with 2 people from the public in addition to the 4 of us, to work through all those numbers. There's a 90-day public comment period followed by a 60-day opportunity for further comment if requested. So we're easily 6 months out just in approvals and paperwork. So once we approve it, it's fine, but then we have to sit through the public timing. And then the city has already agreed very nicely to host our fee collection as they do for the school and the fire district. So we're set on that side, and that's just a board decision how we're going to handle what's going to come first, how many years out of trying to plan.
Do we have to do fee collection with the county also?
I spoke to them and they are collecting for the county, but they
Oh, the
needed,
city
they
is
needed
too.
to look
I
and see. It's a little different with each organization.
Okay.
So I think that the school is doing something directly with the county, so we'll figure that part out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all good news.
Very good. All right, moving on to new business. It is July, and as usual, we have our new, I don't know, realignment of seats.
Right.
I don't know what else to call them.
Musical chairs.
Musical chairs. So tonight, we have an election for the chair, the vice chair, the secretary and treasurer, and or secretary/treasurer. Then we also do a resolution for the registered agents, which is usually the chair. Then we have the calendar, which, did you print?
I've got draft of the
Okay, so
calendar,
we have the
yes.
days, okay. And then we have our, and in fact, you know what, I'm gonna do this one first. I'm gonna do the resolution to authorize it's not selecting, it's reaffirming the law firm, the CPA firm, the bank, the insurance, all of that kind of stuff. It is a long read, so.
Can I-
Sure.
Do you think we should be carrying the, I want to say accounts, but the service contracts that we have? We've got chemical contracts, we've got other things, just something to think
You
about.
mean if they should be included in doing,
Maybe just something for us to think about.
especially
We
for
talked
next
about
year?
it. Yeah, we talked
for
about
next
it.
year.
Last year, like, should we be listing all of those individual contracts? Because I think that was probably a miss on the previous board, because when you set up a contract, like with the chemical people, is there an in and out, or is it month to month and you can cancel anytime?
I think it's different for
Yeah.
each one, the security, contract with the security company, I mean, we've been working with them for years, the boiler and the HVAC
Mm,
companies have changed over, and the board's negotiated the different terms with whatever
okay, so
company
this is good.
is, I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
And then, so we don't really have that many, I
Yeah.
mean, contracts.
And the chemical company.
The
just on my
chemical
mind.
company, I think we just order from them. I don't think we have a,
Okay, so maybe that's just something to be thinking about.
I mean, we order, we like a certain company.
List of all the companies we use.
Right,
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to say we shouldn't have it on there, but I see your point. If you jump around, then.
Well, I mean, it's one of those, that's how it's always been done, but Amber's got some really good leads on cleaning supplies and, and sometimes, I mean, we just have gone with the people that we've always gone with in Lebanon, and there's no saying why we can't branch out a little bit, get some different quotes. None of that's under contract, none of the,
Okay.
like
But those
the
are-
plumber
those are
and
good points.
electricians that we use, and there are certain ones that will only work on certain things that you kind of outdo, but
Yeah,
the contract is the HVAC and
well, it's one of the reasons I brought it up, because as you know, I'd like to do, so we have a backup CPO plan, because we are supposed to have a backup in place for vacations. We don't have that. So just some things we need to do, and also probably doing a commercial cleaner to as a possibility, like
Mhm.
during your maintenance, to go out and have this place really done by a commercial company. So just think about it.
okay,
I don't think it matters for this year, but it's something to think about for next year.
all right. So resolution number 2026-7-1, resolution of the Board of Directors appointing a law firm, CPA firm, bank auditing firm, and insurance agent. Be it known, the Board of Directors of Lebanon Aquatic District has selected the law firm of Eileen G. Akins Cable Houston, CPA firm Coupland Consulting, Columbia Bank, Acuity LLC, and Rose Warren Insurance Agency as the agent of record for the remainder of the 26-27 fiscal year. This appointment falls under ORS 266460, adopted the 13th day of July.
We go. Make motion to accept the resolution.
All right, and all in favor, Darla,
Aye.
Elaine, Russ,
Aye.
Jeremy? All right, so that passes.
So what's a good example? We mentioned Rose Warren, but we don't mention SCO for.
Yes.
workers' comp and all
Yeah,
of that.
so we should think about looking at how that works.
Yeah, and to Jeremy's
Exactly.
point, if for no other reason, so we're not always scrambling, trying to figure out who
Right.
sure what.
Who made the motion and who seconded?
Darla made it and
Elaine
Elaine
seconded
seconded
it.
it. I know, still.
Not much friends need it.
All right, so now for the long one. Resolution 2026-7-2, a resolution authorizing financial procedure and designating banks and signatories. Whereas pursuant to ORS 266-140, all district funds are required to be deposited at the discretion of the board in one or more of the banks designated by the board, and any funds deposited in the bank may be paid out only by warrant or check signed by the secretary and countersigned by the president of the board or by designees named by the board. And whereas the board desires to name or reaffirm one or more financial institutions at which the district funds will be kept, and whereas the board seeks to authorize certain of its members to be signatories on such accounts, now therefore the district board of directors hereby resolves as follows. 1, the district funds shall be kept at Columbia Bank for checking, LGIP for savings, LGIP for investments. 2, the following individuals shall be authorized to sign checks on behalf of the district: Darla Bulmer, Ross Dewberry, Kim Kendall. The following person or persons are authorized to ensure that necessary procedures are followed to notify banks of any change in signatories and to ensure compliance with the Oregon local budget law for the 26-27 year, to be updated annually: Darla Bulmer, Kim Kendall. The district may change its financial institution signatories and or designees of a budget facilitator by resolution of the board, adopted and approved on July 13th, 2026.
So moved.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in
That's good.
favor? Darla?
Aye.
Elaine? Ross?
Aye.
Jeremy?
Aye.
Kim? Aye. All right, so that is passed.
That's resolution number
272. Use Ross.
Do you have to use blue?
No, I mean,
Just can't use pink or purple or
Where did-
turquoise.
here's the, so these will go in the book. All right,
Just gonna say,
do you have the agent resolution? I don't see it. I think that's the other one.
See that one?
This is just the seats. And then there should be a resolution for registered agent.
Go get it.
We can, yeah,
We've got the 41 and the 42.
I'm not doing them in that order.
No, but I just wondered, because it says the same offices.
Oh, 2 and 1 and 2. There's extra things in 2 that shouldn't, it's just the registered agent.
Okay.
It's really been a year since we've done a registered agent.
Every year we do registered agent.
So where's
Registered agent is Darla.
registered agent is the chair?
Usually,
oh, because we didn't.
yeah, because registered agent is the person that would get documents if the state sends something to you. So they have to know who the registered agent is. So it's not always, it doesn't have to be the chair, but it usually is.
So we can, this is the correct order then, but we could do 3.
Would you like me to go,
We can vote on.
You know what, if you want to go print it, we'll look at the calendar while you're gone, and we can double check all of our phones, pull them out, make sure that the dates look like we
Okay.
need them to, and then while you're printing the resolution. That one was my,
Did you guys go early on months where Monday was a conflict or?
well, so so in February, I asked Jill about doing Tuesday.
I don't know if you want to worry about Martin Luther King on January.
Well, that's what, oh no, January. I asked if we could do Tuesday, and your concern was there might be a swim meet on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
night.
There
So
might,
we would,
and there will be lessons or swim meets, so,
You mean consistently.
for,
no, for this year.
for the next 12 meetings. The board approves the calendar,
To avoid vacation or holidays.
Right. well, and
Apparently
other,
none of the rest of us. Do you get
apparently.
holidays?
I don't,
All right, so July we're doing today. August, we have the 17th.
Sorry.
No, sure.
That looks good. You're good on 17th?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
just let me know if you change any.
I will.
Yep.
You good, Elaine? Okay. September, we are looking at the 21st. Gosh, that's like literally at the end of the month.
So Yom Kippur.
October 19th. Looks good.
Yeah.
So the thing about October to November is the 19th is the next to the last week. And that means that November starts early. So it'll be a quick quick turnaround for the meeting, but it will be the week before Thanksgiving on the
Yeah, I
sixteenth.
don't think we want to do the 23rd.
No.
Thanksgiving. So
Yes,
16
Thanksgiving
works
week.
for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. December 21st.
That one,
It's the Christmas week, so do we want to move it up a week?
You need, what do you, I never know.
Oh, up one, up.
As in
Monday.
December 14th.
December 14th,
I just
up a
never,
week,
when everybody says that, I'm like, what do you mean,
up a week,
I would like to move it.
up a week to December 14th. Okay,
that works for me.
better for you, 14th,
I just think that's always a busy time.
right?
Yeah.
And then January 18th is again,
That's-
a
there's
3-week,
the-
yeah, but Jill doesn't want to do it on Tuesday.
How about the 11th?
What's wrong with you? Yeah.
We're moving up the 14th, so the 11th actually makes sense, if you guys are good with the 11th, January 11th.
Does that work for you, Rob?
February 15th, so the day after Valentine's Day,
Also President's Day.
also President's Day.
Oh, that's right. it is. So if we were the 11th, do you want to do the 8th?
Do,
Do Mondays work the best?
But- Yeah, my Mondays are pretty free.
Yeah, that works better for me, because I have meetings.
the Mondays.
What's your thought to go late?
I'm okay doing it on 15th, unless the pool's closed on President's Day. Is it, I know it's a school holiday.
It's usually a hit or miss. Sometimes we've been open for like a special occasion, kind of like Fourth of July thing.
Right,
Yeah.
So it just depends.
Does that mean?
Can we make the decision on that one the month beforehand?
we can, yeah, we can leave it at the 15th and then decide if we need to
Well,
move
that's
it.
Jill, because she has certain holidays in her contract. Jill, do you want President's Day?
Do you
Should we
need us
move
to
it
move
up
on?
a week?
Stay open.
I just kind of.
You weren't here last year. We are open President's Day. We're closed. We're veterans and veterans.
That's just say you're close for veterans.
Yeah,
So
no, that's
we're
fine with me.
So she's saying we're closed.
We aren't closed on President's Day.
They're not closed.
No,
Okay,
Oh, okay.
just,
sorry.
So
Okay,
you
so we
had
leave it
written-
15?
you had changed it to the 8th on here. Was there any particular reason?
because I didn't know if you had President's
We're
Day.
good with President's Day, so I'm gonna put it back. Okay, I'm good here.
So
15th.
February 15th.
We changed all the dates already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Wow, I thought it was quick with that resolution too.
I just thought we followed the school.
No,
The school's closed.
They close a lot more than we do.
Point, yeah.
Yeah,
So, Jill, we did move December up to the 14th
okay.
and January 11th.
January 11th, yeah.
And then-
I've got 11th here.
March 15th, to me, looks,
Stays.
yeah,
Good.
it looks good.
That's fine.
It's another early one, but it looks fine.
March.
April 19th, to me, looks okay.
Yeah, it's fine for me.
May 17th,
Fine for me.
and remember that somewhere right here, we'll
Budget.
start adding budget. I mean, we'll
Oh,
have
yeah.
other budget meetings, but this will be where the actual budget meeting starts getting inserted. So by January, we should probably be talking about that exact, how
And
that's gonna go.
This year, I think that came up that we try to do the budget, then vote on it soon instead of waiting a month. I mean, a month,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
my brain.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we could, and also we should be starting to meet monthly on the budget
Right.
now.
Yeah, soon.
So,
Okay, so May 17th is good. And then June 21st. Which, yeah, June 21st is good.
Father's Day is Sunday and Juneteenth is Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would ask that we move that one, personally, but
What's
Which
the
one? Upper
14th?
back.
Oh, the
the, yeah, to the 14th.
Flag Day
14th is
okay
Flag
for
Day.
everybody?
Is this June? What are we talking?
Yeah, so June 14th.
Is Flag Day okay?
Is June
Yeah.
14th okay?
I'm good with Flag Day, and I like June being earlier just because of the budget and the vote and
Mhm.
making
Yeah.
sure if we don't have what we need, that we can have extra time in case we need to do
So
another
we-
meeting.
Do you think even, what about even earlier to June 7th, would that benefit?
I don't think so. I think the 14th is probably enough.
Well, no, if we need extra time, we'll just
Mhm.
add meeting.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
wow. that was
Okay, and
fast, so
I'll
you're-
update this and put it on the
Okay, well,
website.
well,
Okay,
first
so
we have
This
to
is
vote.
really messy.
So
To accept it.
I move to accept the thank you calendar as we discussed.
All right, Elaine seconded, all in favor, Darla,
I
Elaine, Ross,
Aye.
Jeremy,
think that was yours. It's-
abstaining.
Oh, no, I've got,
Did you hear
I've
that?
got it.
Because of the June.
Abstaining this vote, and I for myself. Here, well, I'll give you our
Jeremy is-
versions back.
You went by June, suggestion.
That was too much for me, Ross. About back you up on that one.
Come on, my anniversary's next day.
Not too bad. No, but you know, as the year goes, who knows what will end up changing. We didn't know we were changing
How your
July,
life is her or me.
to June and July this year, so you know, you never know. All right, so for the fun one, a resolution of the board, 7.3. A resolution of the board of directors appointing a board chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. Whereas the board of directors of the Lebanon Aquatic District is required by ORS 266370 to appoint from among its members a board chair as well as a vice chair for the district who may but need not be. Oh, you removed the secretary.
The,
You
it's on
removed-
the other one.
No. You removed the secretary verbiage here, which makes this wrong. It says the vice chair, this paper says the vice chair doesn't need to be a member of the board.
Oh,
It was the
but-
recording secretary. It doesn't. Member of the board.
just fix it, and then if you guys can vote it as changed,
Man,
as amended.
that would be interesting. It must be.
Okay.
Vice chair.
There we go. I know, right?
Volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, board chair, do we have a nomination?
I'd like
I
to
have a-
nominate.
I
Oh,
have
I'm
a
sorry.
request.
Yes.
In the past, we've always done a whole bunch of nominations and we sit here in awkward silence until that one expires and then somebody else does it. Can we figure out who's willing to do all the different roles first? So we know who's all on the table for each role? Because generally there aren't gonna be a lot of options, especially for some of the work roles.
So are we gonna like go around maybe and say who they're, you know, I mean, I'm fine with.
Yeah, well, and Darla has some names, but rather than framing it in a nomination, can you say who you want and will they accept?
She has some names.
If you, I know Kim probably has some names. If you have names, I don't have any names.
Okay, should I start?
Sure.
Okay, I'd like to,
We're not gonna nominate yet.
propose
Yeah, we're just-
that Ross be chair. I think it would be a great choice. That was the only one I really locked in on.
Okay,
Well-
anybody else have any other positions they're interested in?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Why don't each of us just
That's what I said.
do all three? Who do you think, if you were gonna, who do you think currently, and then Elaine can
No,
say.
you're Okay, I would say Ross for chair. I'm willing to be vice chair if it's helpful. I'd be willing to be treasurer. I don't know who's interested in any of that.
Okay,
Well,
Is it separate?
it was
Or is it
my
separate?
thought, I'm
Think
fine
it
as
should be
far as
the-
Ross. I was going to nominate you for treasurer.
Oh,
I just, you know, I just think you'd be a good fit for that. So
thank you.
yeah.
And since Jeremy's so thrilled to be the treasurer, it's much off the book. Instead of not, you know, because I think that, you know, that.
Yes, I will not be accepting any roles at this meeting.
But I also was going to, I think that if Ross is going to be chair, then I think there needs to be somebody that has more history as far as the way things have worked. And so that's why I was gonna nominate Kim to be vice chair, because I think we need, kind of, you were talking about the old, and you, somebody was talking about that, the older and the newer, person, you know, to be the continuity, and Kim has some of the continuity for the pool, and so if it were Ross.
Would replacing those as Kim as chair and then myself as vice chair make more sense in
I'm okay
a
with either one.
responsibility?
I'm okay with either one of those options.
What about secretary and treasurer roles?
I don't think anyone wants that really.
Donna said she was willing to do that.
Both of them?
No, she,
Well-
what you missed that? She said she was.
So wait.
I said treasurer.
So wait a second, but Amber, you're
Well, we have
sticking
a
around as
recording
recording
You don't have to do
secretary,
that.
right? So the secretary part of that dual title is really to make sure Amber's doing her job. That's all.
Sign, attest the.
And sign the papers.
So see if she's gonna be treasurer, and I don't, it doesn't matter to me, but I think if we've got new, that we also have to have more, like, I don't know, age wise.
And do you have a preference?
Yeah,
I do not have a preference. Sorry, I didn't think
I
about
think
who was gonna be appointed to what.
So my thought is that we rotate through these offices so that we all get a chance to have some experience at that. You also have a couple more years to go on your term. So that you may get tapped again, because we don't know what the future holds, so I think it's a good time to learn.
Okay, I'm willing to take any role you guys would like to, appoint.
Thank you.
Um,
Nice.
But when you said that we all should rotate, you never want to have me as treasurer.
So you actually want to be secretary?
There you go. He's gonna be good at this.
Communications person.
So I know you aren't
Would you like to
accepting a role, but is there,
Would you like to be
what would you like to share your opinion?
I do think Darla would make a great treasurer.
I would say,
I would like to see Ross either chair or vice, just because he nice to see. I think he'd make a really great leader too. Plus, he sounded really awesome tonight with all that technical stuff that I didn't understand.
members would be important, do we need, I mean, we always get into that whole thing about secretary, like, so since she's.
Well, it would be secretary / treasurer like we
Okay.
have, that way
Yeah,
for
I can
testing
do
the
that.
documents, so you can.
With the
sign.
recording
All we got
secretary.
to time is what these two are gonna do.
Who's the current chair?
There isn't a current chair. I'm the acting current chair. Darla had stepped back from being chair
Yeah.
a few months ago.
Yeah.
So I
So-
think it just depends, you know, if.
Yeah, and we can always adjust too. I mean, that's
Yeah.
correct. We can adjust during the
I
year.
don't know. Well, I don't know.
Well,
Oh,
I
I
mean,
couldn't.
step down.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
hope that it could be, that we could make a decision and.
Right.
Stay with it, you know, I think when you start changing it.
It's crazy when you have 3 or 4 seats and you have 5 people and you're trying to manage moving.
Yeah, I'm
everyone
just saying
around,
if
so-
somebody has an issue or conflict, like I wanted to focus on the
What
OSDC.
if, would you be able to teach Ross now that you learned everything? That seems ideal, if you could teach him how to be chair. Okay, not everything, but I mean,
Okay, I don't think that's necessarily teach, you know, like, okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. I was asked to go to the med school, I'm talking about the DOs, and teach them how to communicate with children with cerebral palsy, and I was like. I mean, you know, I was like, well, okay, well, I can, you know, I brought in real live children and mothers, you know, the students sat on the floor. And so I tried to impart some things to them, but, you know, and they said they liked it, but did I teach them? You know, I don't know.
So I think to Jeremy's point, the very first year I was on the board, I was the vice chair. And the reason that worked was because Mark was the chair and I learned, using Jeremy's verbiage, I learned from him. I learned things that the board chair was needing to do and what their responsibilities were. So I don't care what it looks like, as long, I mean, that, your point was very valid about someone who's been doing it and someone who's new.
And that's
just
more the
working
model
together.
I'm used to.
Because those
You know, is that-
those two seats work together, right?
Mhm.
That's what Darla and I, we work
Yeah,
together.
it works great.
So it doesn't matter either way to me at this point. Literally, the major difference I think is just that whoever's the chair is going to be who the state contacts if there's a problem. So-
I think it's the gavel. I mean, I'm that gavel.
you've been eyeing that gavel.
Gavel is cool.
There is, and I do have a laminated Robert's Rules,
That I
cheat
gave her.
sheet.
So should we nominate now?
So
What are Kim's, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I don't have any thoughts. I will do either. It doesn't matter.
Are they
We're
gonna be coaching
a
or vice?
team. We're a team, right? So that's what it is.
And
It
that's what
doesn't-
I'm trying to achieve.
Yes.
Is, you know, we rotate around, everybody
Yes.
gets a common,
Yes,
yeah, and we do work very well together, and I think we all work well together.
yes.
So,
Is part of your concern that you've been on the board for 3 months and it might be,
Yeah, I think part of my concern is just, I don't know, I'm not a political type of person. I don't really know how those things, but in my limited knowledge, it seems like you would go from vice chair to chair, not necessarily chair. I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful in not doing my time as another position before taking on that role. But
And I think that's more of what you see in the world is that, you know, that the vice chair and then moves
Yeah.
into the chair's position. So with that, I mean, if you two are okay with that, I guess.
But then we have dual chairs, which is what I was trying to avoid. Then Kim's rotating back into chair again. I just think.
Yeah, but it seems like we don't have,
There's no law that says that the vice chair has to become the chair again.
No, but there's also no rule that anyone, I mean, someone can be the chair.
I mean, it's not my
4 times or-
decision, but
Exactly.
if you were chair and he was vice chair, and then you rotate into chair, and then you can be secretary, and you can be vice
Yeah,
chair.
that's the thing. We have to all be willing to fill those other roles.
She can do the parking.
well, someone,
monitor.
no, I'm the one that talks, I'm the committee, I'm the one that talks at all the meetings about the pool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Communication is huge.
And Elaine, did you have a desire to fill in any of the roles now? During the appointment, you had mentioned you wanted to wait to get established into it.
What we're talking about now, no, because I am working on, let's just say I'm working on several boards. I'm not getting ready to take the position, licensed nurse, so I'd rather be my communication self and then help out where you need me, you know.
Okay.
So-
All right, so what does this motion look like?
Well, that's what I'm worried about. We shouldn't be negotiating before we have. a meeting.
Okay, I
I'll-
move that Kim be chair, Ross be vice chair, and that Darla be.
That's not, but we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't put a package,
So we nominate one at a time.
nominate one in. So I would go back and play with doing it and make a motion that Ross be chair.
Good question.
Okay, so that failed.
I move that Kim be chair.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor, Darla,
Right?
Elaine, Ross.
Aye.
Jeremy,
Aye.
myself, aye. And I will make a motion to nominate Ross for vice chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Darla, Elaine, Ross.
Aye.
Jeremy.
Aye.
Myself, aye.
I'll make a motion that Darla be
Treasurer,
secretary
secretary.
treasurer.
All right, I'll second. All in favor? Darla?
Aye.
Elaine, it's good. Ross.
Aye.
I keep
Yeah.
missing the second. So Elaine moved for her, and who seconded for the chair?
Who was on the second? place?
Ross.
Ross.
Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. I should be better at this. I just like to
No, we
write.
moved very fast on it, Jill.
And then
Sorry.
Ross moved that
No, I
Kim
moved
moved
for
that
Ross to be vice chair. And Elaine
I think I
seconded,
second.
Okay,
and then Elaine moved for Darla to be treasurer, and I seconded.
because Darla didn't second. You're really good with numbers.
No, I'm fine with treasurer.
Did we vote? Did we vote for the treasurer? Did everyone say, it was all unanimous? All three, I think.
Yeah, we all
unanimous. Okay,
We should just say by acclamation, we don't all go yell.
yeah. All right, adopted by the board on the 13th of, July, and it's gonna be 5 yeses, 0 nos. And I'm out.
Well, somebody said no turquoise. So.
Oh, did.
Yeah.
Here's
No.
black.
Too late, too
When I
late.
did a
There you go.
deposit at the bank and I was using fun
We have
colors,
purple.
and they said, Jill, you can't do that.
Okay,
Is that signature
So that
really
was a
legal?
good discussion.
At least it's not sent out.
true, it's not sensitive.
But you never
We have
know.
one more.
I could find something.
You're already, we don't even have to turn in paperwork.
What?
Okay, 7.7.4,
Well, that's-
Try whoever you
a resolution naming a registered office and registered agent.
I actually thought it was supposed to be the chair.
No,
That wasn't that why I thought.
yes, that's what we. Don't listen, Mark. That's okay. Doesn't have to be. A resolution naming a registered office and registered agent, whereas the Lebanon Aquatic District is a municipal corporation required by law to name a registered office and registered agent and file notice of the same with the Secretary of State. And whereas the registered agent may be the secretary, financial officer, or chair of the board. So see, it could be you as the secretary. And whereas Kim Kendall is the chair of the board now, therefore be it resolved somebody is the registered agent of the Lebanon Aquatic District until his or her term as board chair. Oh, the verbiage, I can't
I didn't write it.
That's okay. As board chair shall expire or is otherwise terminated. Oh, that's interesting.
See,
Oh,
I
we
think,
never did anything. Okay,
Yeah.
lesson learned. We'll chalk that up to lesson learned. And the registered office of the Lebanon Aquatic District shall be 1800
I stepped down.
South Fifth, Lebanon, Oregon, 97355. Adopted by the board on July 13th. So are we doing the chair, the secretary, the financial officer? Oh, you are the secretary and the financial officer.
And the registered agent.
Currently.
Yeah.
You have been the chair.
All right, so what do we want to do about this? I don't even remember if we do a nomination or if this is just a vote.
Is that the thing that we didn't have for a number of years?
No, we always
the
have had
one?
this. It's always been the chair. It's the treasurer. We didn't have a treasurer.
There was something else where we found out when we made a lot of transitions that we didn't have somebody filling the spot. that we
It
had
was
to
secretary treasurer. It was
Yeah.
treasurer.
No, I think you're right. I think
No,
the
there was
registered-
something in-
I think the registered agent
I
was
think it
like
was registered.
10 years out
Yeah,
of
it
the,
was 10 years and there was no
I
registration.
think you found out it had been
Oh,
registered.
that's-
and it was
that's right.
maybe Like 10 years
That's,
ago.
I told you.
Oh, it was never sent to the updates were never sent
That's
in. You're
the
right.
thing.
That is what you're talking about. All right, so are we doing the chair? Are we doing the secretary?
I think you should do the chair because
Okay.
otherwise we're doing the same thing that was going on.
Okay.
before.
All right.
All right, Okay.
Have to get you some black pens.
yeah, it changes every year.
Yeah, maybe.
Going to back to school, so
99
cents it does.
All right, so motion, somebody?
I motion that we appoint chair to the registered agent.
All right, a second. Okay, Ross made the motion, Elaine seconded. All in favor, Darla?
Aye.
Elaine? Oh, she raises her hand. Ross.
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Jeremy?
Aye.
All right, so, and then Jill can have these ones you're done signing them.
Does that need to go, does that
Oh.
registered agent think you need to go with?
Need to be filed with the state. That's
When
what-
you
So
send the
take it
stuff
with the other paperwork?
in September, not the,
I don't think it's. the county.
no, not
Oh,
the
it's not the
county.
county.
The packet you have to turn in by September with the book to the state.
Oh, that.
Yes, it'll go with that. You'll need to make a copy and it will go with that.
All right.
And that's the perfect reason that it can't continue, because we only figured this stuff out this year. Right?
Yes.
That's all the tricky stuff that nobody knew.
Okay.
That we're gonna do better documentation. This is gonna be the year of updated documentation.
Oh, well, there, I would have voted for that, just.
And I think
Get the
what Jeremy
process.
was saying, we need to
Yeah,
make this.
write that down.
We need to create documentation that public can
Yes,
see
public.
these.
Okay.
Or that
We started.
We did. Yeah, we've got to start. Okay, I didn't have any forms. Is there any public comments?
I have questions.
Go ahead. It's time for oral public comments.
So you have the committee approved, you have a committee meeting coming up sometime this month. Are you opening that up to the public? So we can-
Yeah, I just don't have a date yet because we're still waiting on some quotes.
Oh, for this one?
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you guys have a paper of record?
I'm sorry,
Do you have a paper of record?
a newspaper?
Yeah.
Record.
To public television.
Oh, because, yeah, I saw
It's
in the old resolutions, I saw that there was a paper of record, but we haven't had one of those where it's been in a resolution for years.
I think it was like 2005 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been a really a newspaper that doesn't exist anymore. So we do not have a paper of record currently.
And so where do you publish your leads and your budget?
That was done
In the Albany.
in the
Democrat.
Democrat Herald.
What paper are you with? New?
The New York, we're a lot cheaper.
Well, can we? Can we?
We
publish
talked
it in the
about the
different-
Brownsville Times, I don't think you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those that's always been done that way.
Cheaper sounds good though.
Auto Democrat Herald anymore is getting way too expensive to do anything. And more people from the pool come from Sweet Home, Brownsville, Lebanon, Carpetsville, Macomb. and all that area, so I think that maybe you guys should switch to the Ericksville, because I think it's gonna be more red
So we'll,
and more established.
Or Brownsville, we talked about.
let's put it on the agenda.
Yeah.
We'll make a note to put it on the agenda to talk about for next month.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to get the most from you guys, I just was trying to figure out where your budget.
Right. It was in the.
Yeah,
If it's cheaper, yeah.
Because I looked in the Brownsville Times, because we talked about it, but I guess, well, now they have a new name.
And I'm a patron of the pool a lot, and I just, a lot of times girls go, Jan, what's the schedule? Jan's supposed to know everything when I'm in water. And I don't, and they were asking me today when the closure was gonna be, so I wrote that down.
See, that's why I think the new arrow would be best
Yeah,
choice.
that would
I
make
think it would be the biggest switch.
And you can get the error up on Facebook. You cannot get the error up on the job, different error on
And
Facebook.
you get digital.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then if you read so much, they shut you off. You're only allowed to read one article.
Right. So Jill, you have that. So
I
we'll
have
get on
that
the
here.
agenda for next month. Okay.
Okay, the lining, what is the lining here?
The pool or the pipe?
For the pipe.
Oh, you know what?
There's, various materials that can be used to combat the chlorine. I can send you we have the material choices that they made for our pool.
And was it the
Just
same?
curious. Or is it like a?
No,
plastic
it's like
of
a equivalent.
Polymer.
I feel like
Oh,
Teflon type.
some sort?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a
Yeah.
polymer.
Trying to picture how that works.
Yeah,
It doesn't-
so it's like a plastic, they put it in, blow it up, it expands to the width of the pipe, and then it sets.
Okay, and then, when is the audit gonna be done? I don't think I've seen that yet.
Yeah, I don't.
We have the draft and then they went on vacation. So they said that they would get it to us as soon as they get back, which should be any day now.
Can I ask why? It hasn't been done yet?
It just was getting all the materials from the accountant, and the auditors were slow this year, and it was just like combination. Yeah.
And the last thing is, are we going back to I guess I'm just curious when the next meeting is, like next month's meeting.
So it's on the list.
Oh.
August 17th.
August 17th.
I keep forgetting when July now. Okay.
And it will be here, but the pool will be closed. So,
Yeah, we'll have it here.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll have it outside in
yeah.
the sunshine.
That-
Is this room will be, I don't know, but
with the furniture.
we probably will. This room will probably be out of,
Yeah, we can
Out
do
of-
it on the patio.
On the patio, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
Is the
I-
internet strong out there, or
what?
is the internet Wi-Fi strong out there?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just as good out those doors, then we'll
The
just,
back patio?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just the same. You can get internet out in the car. I can get the internet.
Streaming videos a little.
Yeah,
bit.
let's
We
try
can,
that.
we can go out and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just know during the closure, we use this room kind of as staging.
Right.
Yeah, and I know that,
Our requirements.
Amber's gonna do some repairs to the floor, and we're gonna get that drywalled in, and so we do have some,
Oh, you might have some instructions.
We
We
just-
can hotspot too off my phone.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
you're good?
It's
All
gonna,
right, thanks,
it's gonna be
Karen.
a play it by ear.
Jan, did you have anything?
I don't.
Anything, Russ, for the people online?
Nope, we lost Molly, all got bored. We have a lot of YouTube watchers, but no one's saying anything.
All
Did we
right.
do Jill's report? Or we haven't
Nope.
got there yet?
Yep, we're not.
Well,
there
we
yet.
talked about most everything that I had to talk
Treasurer
about, though.
report. Are you doing a treasurer report? Okay, you're doing the May treasurer?
If you've had time to look at it.
I am not prepared for that this evening.
All right, we
But
will do a catch-up treasurer report next month.
I am a little concerned that we're getting so late. We're not getting.
We moved this meeting way up.
We moved the
So-
meeting up.
That's why.
That's why.
Okay.
It's because we moved the meeting up and.
The last
honestly, it
month
would
and
be-
this month, we moved the meeting up.
Yeah,
And so she couldn't get
So
financial.
she can, when we move, they
Once-
can't leave that.
Once we
Right.
get back to our third Monday, we'll have the financials from the previous month.
They get out of budget and they get out of tax season.
Right.
Always
Right.
gets Better.
Yeah.
And Jeremy showed me how to use some of the spreadsheets. So if you wanted,
Yeah, we
Well,
could get together. and do
yeah,
that.
try to
That'd be
see.
nice.
and Jill, well, I don't know if this is on your list to talk about, but Jill's implementing a PO policy for spend, so it's gonna make the treasurer stuff a lot, more,
Streamlined.
yes, because we'll be able to see who and where things are going, and you're gonna do double copies, so she'll have a book with all the,
I
POs
think
in
it's
it.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me too.
and then
So-
we'll have, So we'll have the PO will be stapled to the quote and the paperwork, the invoice, everything will be right there. So, and then we'll also have a second notebook that's a kind of a maintenance, this is what's going on, and then that'll be updated probably hourly, if not daily, that this was done, this was bought, this is why this isn't finished yet, this is what we need to do to get it finished, so that we're a lot more transparent on what's going on, because I just feel like there's a lot of projects out there that we just need to, not sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, and have to go find an answer. I've got everything right
Good
there.
idea.
But the PO is, I think, important, because that way there's no spending that we're not aware of ahead of time, because we'll have a signed PO, so.
So I do think we've chatted a little bit. I've been doing scanning of old years. And one thing that used to happen was your report that you put in the budget book, the attendance, daily attendance
Right, yeah, and the revenue.
and the revenue were both included in the director report. I'd
Yeah.
like to see that again.
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
Yeah.
So I will do that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice when we get a minute to start it up. In between all the repairs.
I know, right? All right, so moving on, remarks from the board of directors, Carla?
So Jill, did that cover everything?
Not really.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
I just, we just touched briefly on swimming lessons this summer. We've made a lot of money in lessons. It has been very successful. The one that started today is quite light in the beginner classes. Mostly all those kids have been moving up. So like at the beginning of the summer, the beginning classes are packed, and there's not that many in octopus in the upper. And then now they've moved up. And so we have like 2 crab classes. I mean, octopus is full and the upper is full, and they're moving on to swim club. So, and also the other aspect is that Vacation Bible School we compete with Vacation Bible School during that. The evening session that starts tomorrow night is full to the brim, completely full.
And we talked about this, but I think we're seeing a shift in culture too, right? Where a lot of dual income, both working, evenings are all at work.
That is also I mean, if you're at work, you can't get your kids to swimming lessons. So
So we get back to that Saturday, Sunday idea.
Saturdays are really hard in the summer because people
Yeah,
go
I'm
camping,
thinking more.
but,
year-round.
and, celebrate. And then also, so we have 2 more morning sessions, one started today and one will start in 2 weeks. And it kind of dwindles out at the end of the summer, because the parents are all, oh, we've got to go on vacation, school starts in 3 weeks,
They're all at Target.
and so, but it's been very successful. And then we're also looking at some, there are a couple of companies that Amber and I are looking at that, to do some different kind of training with our instructors and maybe tweak up the curriculum a little bit. There's a couple different companies that I want to look at. So that's the lessons. Also, we're going
I
to
would
go.
like to request that you, not about summer, but that you look at Saturday and Sunday as an option.
Oh yeah, definitely. We will
Just give
do.
us back a report next time on what you think
We will do weekends during the school year.
during the school year. Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
not highlighting summer, because you were right, everything you predicted. People get busy at the end
Yeah,
of summer,
yeah.
and all of that, but if we can start picking up Saturday, Sunday, that gives working parents another
And
chance.
we generally do the last few years we did 45-minute lessons for 4 weeks instead, or
Yeah.
for 45 minutes for 5 weeks, and it was okay.
Depending on the age.
So yeah, so it's kind of, but we always have had Saturday lessons during the school year.
Okay, so let's ask Ross, because you
So,
are a.
yeah, would you go to a
Parents-
Saturday lesson? Well, he
Yeah,
likes
we
to
did.
eat Tuesday, Thursday evenings.
We also did Saturday at one point, and
Did you?
yeah, we liked it.
Yeah.
Especially during the work week, it's nice to be able to do Saturdays. We find that after Christmas through to summer, the weekends we have our family has them open. And yeah, during the summer we do trips and
Right.
things, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then in the fall and winter, there's all our holidays and things like that as well,
So
so.
that's a good point. So maybe it's more of a spring, winter, spring thing.
Yeah.
But we also add, once school starts, we add, lessons at, 10, 10:30, wait. 10, 10:30, and 11. We have 3 options, Tuesday, Thursdays in the mornings. And then evenings, we're gonna go year round and not pause for high school swimming. But we won't be able to have upper levels during that time because they'll be using the lanes, but we'll be able to have the lane, the crab, and all the lower levels during high school swimming, instead of just canceling lessons completely. Yeah. And then during the summer, we've actually added 2 classes that we've never had. We used to just have 6 and 6:30 in the summer, and now we have 5:30, 6 and 6:30. And
Nice.
like I said, they're full. So we're increasing the number of lessons we can offer.
Nice.
One follow-up for, just because we had this conversation last month, I know that I sent it, probably you all are aware that they walked back the rule about 14-year-olds. So during the summer, we can have kids who still ride their bike down here,
Right.
who can swim. Though we're aware that it's still
Yeah.
recommended to be the upper age, we're not breaking any rules now.
And we have signage to that effect.
Nice.
Yeah.
And with Corvallis, with their situation with their pool, are they want to be using the pool more? I mean, I know they've done swim meets.
They're welcome to, come and rent our pool, or, we'll work with them. We're a community pool. I mean, we'd be glad to,
That might be worth an outreach.
we've had the swim
That's
club.
what I was thinking.
What
Maybe just go ahead.
pool was it, Amber, that the swim club came over? Was that Corvallis or Albany? So Albany came over and used our rented up our pool for practices because they were in a closure.
Mhm.
And Corvallis had a meet here. And,
Well, I just think it
I'm
might be good
predicting
to-
that they will ask again this
She'll
year.
reach out.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Legally be allowed to offer them in-district rates as a courtesy for their
It's a
situation.
nice.
We
See, I think
didn't
that
charge
would be
for
good.
the high school, the Corvallis team to come.
I mean, for like the public from the Corvallis Pool service area, could we offer
Oh.
them as like a,
I think that would be a nice
That
thing.
is.
Yeah, that'd be,
It's something to
If
talk
it goes
about
for 2 more
um,
years.
yeah.
when we talk about our prices.
Yeah,
Add that to the agenda.
Yeah.
All
right, you got that on the note?
yeah, just,
That's a great idea, Ross.
I was also gonna mention on the Saturday lessons that we thought about is competing with soccer. I feel like that is one of the largest youth
we do.
Saturday programs I hear
We
about.
do compete with soccer.
And the problem with that one is that the way they do scheduling is it's any time in the day. So you might have soccer practice game at 9 a.m. one day and 5 p.m.
Yeah, and they don't give the parents much warning, do they?
And so I could see that being really difficult to plan around Saturdays for parents in the fall and in the spring. It's a dual.
Yeah, they split the season, right?
So we signed up for soccer as I'm learning about it right now, but we had to sign up for it in like June. And then we don't even know what the schedule's gonna look like for next spring.
Yeah, I've run into that, yeah. But, well, I mean, everything's important, so we just have to all get along.
I think keeping in mind just those like complex like BBS does and.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're gonna see an upswing in requests for soccer because of FIFA.
Yeah.
I mean,
People got really into this.
oh, I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, she was very interested. All
I mean,
right,
I'm
are
watching
you?
the series.
So, yeah, I think I'm done. We talked about the closure. We have a list. Amber's got a list. I'm sure it goes from the ceiling to the floor, so she's ambitious and we'll get it done.
All right.
And but the other thing that Darla touched on briefly is we are gonna have we're getting bids, but we're gonna have a company come in and just deep clean the bathrooms,
Okay.
just, during the closure, so that they're really nice and clean.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, we've been talking about the floors as one of our. We have a list of projects and I stopped listing everything until we know price points, but maybe skim coating the deck to get away from all the raised edges. We'll see.
some good ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, Darla,
Can I get skipped?
sure.
Yes,
Elaine?
Okay, several things. Okay, some of you know, every time I'm at ambassadors or greeters, I always talk about the pool. And I called, Jill, to see what was going on about scheduling, and she had told me about the classes, which ones were less full, more full, and so I do always make those comments when I'm there. And every so often you have to give a prize every so often. So what I do is I give 4 swim passes as a prize.
Just those free.
The school,
Business,
yeah, that's it. And the last person, when she's new to the community, and she was so excited. She said, I've never been there. I'm so excited about this. And sometimes it's families. I hadn't done it in a while. But anyway, so I do that. Jason from the fire department and I are, when it gets a little bit further along, we're gonna go back and talk again about doing a cooperative event on water safety. And he said they wanted to do that because there's water safety issues in the pool and the lakes and everywhere. So that's something we want to go back and explore. And then the last thing is that the muralist competition, and we talked about that before. When everything got so crazy toward the end with the budgets and stuff, we kind of held on that. But anyway, though, now with Michelle Steinhebel and Will both gone, I think I'm gonna have to talk to Jim to try to find my contact, because as before, there's going to be, and this is going to be on heavy stock paper, but we decided we don't need they don't need to do a big chart, so it'll be on heavy stock, and it'll say Lebanon Aquatics, elementary, middles, because we're doing that. Then we're doing high school, and then college and university, and they'll have like 2 weeks to do their drawing. We'll give them some criteria, and then I'm going to be asking community members from different groups to be the judge. And then what we had decided, we talked at one time about getting a pass, and we decided it'd be better do the pool party, because I was saying 10, and everybody said, "Oh, you 30." I mean, I told some people in the community that they were like, "Wow, yeah, boy," So we would do 3 pool parties for the recipients.
Or one combo maybe?
It's just an age breakout, maybe the 2
Oh,
younger
yeah.
ones and the 2 older ones, just depending on how the age breaks out. Yeah.
So anyway, that's
Good
the
point.
plan. So I just
Nice.
So I have to get the well, it might be the same contacts, but there's been a lot of shift in the schools with all of
A lot.
I mean, so I don't even know if the people that I contacted before, if they're still the persons. And I'm actually going to be a contact for one of the schools this year, probably Joya.
Oh, nice.
Legacy. I'm going to be
Yeah.
for Pioneer School, so
Good for
I'll get
you.
them in another
That's a
contact.
great organization.
And then the reading, I still do it. Anyway,
So Jill had a suggestion. Were you gonna put it on?
Well, I don't know if this is something that could be done, but this mural that's on this wall in here, I'm sure somebody, that was just a commercial graphic, but they put it on that shrink wrap stuff.
Mhm.
So what if we had them design a mural and then we get somebody to put it on that shrink wrap stuff and we put it on that wall inside?
She likes the idea of inside and that.
Oh, I know what, so you're talking about.
I mean, it's just a thought.
I like it.
Because it would last longer.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't, if we put it outside, we'd have to like.
Well, we're gonna
create
have 3, so we've got 3. We've got at least one when you're facing the pool, one on the right side or left, one, I guess the left side, and then one at the end, and then one was supposed to be inside, so whatever.
So we have 3
I
spots.
just don't know if it can be done, but if we could
It
look
can,
into it.
yeah.
And you
just
could also check, Jill, they do a lot of stuff that goes on the outside, so it
Yeah.
could be that you could still put it on that to get it
Uh-huh.
up on the.
Because I
Usually
just
down
imagine,
downtown.
I don't know, because at the beach, at Long Beach, they have these great murals. And it's so sad because they just, of course, you got the weather at the beach, but that they just fade,
Right.
The ones downtown that lasted, I know there's the one with the wings.
Yeah, that's cute.
I mean, that one, that's been there for years.
I thought it'd be cute doing mermaid tail.
Yeah, and then, and it can be also, there are coverings, if the kids want to do it, students want to do it, there are coverings, almost like glazes or stuff that you can
Right.
put on.
Yeah,
that you can put on
Exactly.
top. So I haven't gotten that far.
Right.
yeah, it's a nice suggestion. And that was Arthur, right, this Extreme Graphics that printed that. He also did the one on Sherman and Park. You ever notice the side of the building got like a strawberry festival?
Yeah, yeah.
He did that one, and that held up well outside, so it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
And the comment had been made at some point, we ought to put some things on the back, on that wall. Maybe we'll keep up with that second.
So just, in my dream world of we do SDC fees and we have money to expand, those outside walls would become interior hallways. Because if we went with my idea, we'd be wrapping the building with a glass hallway. That would lead the people around to the back for the new pool and splash pad and blah, 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 blah. So either way, it should just be, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
they
a
could
good
end up being inside
location.
anyway, too,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, then
They
you're
could be
on
out, and then might, before they start fading or anything happens to them, they might end up being inside.
something for you to think.
All right, Jill, you had something? else?
I forgot something. So we, actually Amber got a phone call from, the school in, I don't know what school, a charter school in, Jefferson. And they wanted to rent the pool and come over for a party. And so we actually canceled, Jan's class, but we canceled core aerobics and we rented the pool for 2 hours and we got the slide out and they paid for that too.
Oh.
And we made, just $400 for, yeah, and they were so thrilled. And they are gonna start coming to use our pool for their pool parties and all of their, because she said that most of the teachers go, she didn't say where, for their pool parties and they aren't very happy with wherever they're going, I don't know. And that they're gonna come here. And so I gave the kids all a free little coupon to come back to Rec Swim. And they were very appreciative and very nice.
And word of mouth. They can bring all their
Exactly.
friends.
Yeah.
Most, they gave us a few.
Oh, did they? Yeah, they
nice.
were, the principal was such a nice lady. And they were so well-behaved kids, I think. I don't know. Of course, I wasn't having to lifeguard them. I think all the guards went in at one time. I know Amber was wet.
It was like 9 kids, and I
Wow.
will say that there were only 2 of us that actually got in. I was first, Adam was second, and then our new lifeguard Payne did a reach and assist. But for all those kids, for that less, that goes to be for the track record.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
good job. So anyways, I thought that was pretty exciting.
Good.
And it's a future, that they're gonna come back.
So,
So do you advertise like that? Do you advertise on the site, like pool parties? I mean, I'm talking about big,
Yeah.
outside community.
Oh, yeah, we post all over
we do Jefferson,
Jefferson, Brownsville,
Albany,
Albany, Sweet Home.
Paloma.
Yeah, I even did Corvallis this morning because
Corvallis been
they're
responding
closed.
to-
So,
Right,
Yeah. How about I think the outreach is important to your point, and I think that, going back to the medical college, back to Dr. Davis, she had mentioned doing that dual party every year in October. Might be-
yeah, I don't know what happened this year. There was miscommunication and they didn't show up.
Oh, but weren't they coming in October, or that was?
They just didn't go.
They just didn't.
they came
didn't show
one
up.
time, but they didn't come the second time.
Oh,
No, they
it
didn't.
might be worth an email though. And just- Like, I always think we could send 5 emails a month, it's the word out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay,
Anyways, yeah.
all right. Ross, do you have anything for director's report tonight?
And we are not normally this long.
Yes,
so
this
thank
is a
you,
long
everybody, for the
Yeah.
patience.
I figured that out.
Jamie?
Yes, actually I do. I've had some personal events come up in life that I need to focus on, so I am officially resigning from the board. Wonderful
Thank you for
and terrible
everything.
3 years, but I think we've made a lot of progress, so.
Yeah.
Very happy with where this is going.
Cool, good.
So
Thank you, congratulations.
Is this immediately?
Yes. Tonight's my last meeting.
Aw.
I miss your smiling face.
Okay.
You just covered your face.
So I would like to propose that we appoint someone this evening. And just keep motivation moving and keep going forward. And I just want to propose that to you guys, that we nominate Jan Peterson, who has been a huge supporter of the pool and has helped with many events and intends to help with even more, including teaching classes, doing all the things.
Yeah, and like I said, the girls for some reason, even Amber, she comes to me and says, have you heard or do you know something? And my ears are full of lots of wonderful things and things I shall never repeat because nobody else does this. But
She is good.
yeah, I'm going to do this. I was on the city council in Jefferson, Oregon in the 80s and 90s. And I was in my church. I did a lot of things. I led Sunday school class and led the children, birth programs, did the BDSs. And I think the pool is probably one of the best things that the Lebanon community people could have. And like Jill says, it is a community pool. So when we have to give up a class for like Amber and Jill Friday in Jefferson, the girls said something to me and I said, girls, remember it's community pool. I said, you could come in the evening, and I did. I tried it out. Wasn't my particular cup of tea, but I wanted to try it out just to see how it was and how they were in the evening classes. And I found it very educational to me personally. So, and I was born right here in Lebanon, Oregon. So I'm in Lebanon, Oregon.
And you've been so helpful to us. Thank you.
I'll say.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
Jan's class has at least tripled.
She made the best playlist of music in that class.
Yeah.
We couldn't have fit any more people in the pool.
Yeah, I had that too. And now John's 14 to 16 and.
Yeah, it was, that was,
And some of the girls that don't do anything, a couple were saying, poor Jan, thank you for thank you for being leader and thank you for the music.
yeah, the music's good.
I guess my only question would be, is you understand that there has to be a differentiation between board and operations, right? The
I do,
board is
and
not-
I'm not allowed to vote unless I can listen, I can sit in, but I'm not allowed to vote until I become, if we're voted in.
Right, true.
And Jan also served on the budget committee officially this year, unofficially last year, because we
Yeah.
talked all about different things and got a lot of input from her. But you've been just so helpful to us. Thank you.
And I know when Ross came on, you know the rules of the pool. I mean, for example, there's things like board, like, only 2 people can meet together, 3
Oh, you
people.
have one form. If you
Oh.
put form, you can't.
No, she's saying
I'm
the
talking about
opposite.
outside.
We can't, like.
Oh, no.
Yes.
There's training.
When
on
state
radio,
radio.
director stays in director's meeting.
No,
Like, when you just all get together, 3 of you, you can't.
you have to be just real careful.
Yeah, there's
And-
not, but you talk to them before the meeting.
Exactly.
Right, and we do have a book.
The
Yeah.
protocol is just like being on a council meeting. It's a director's, and it's the same as being on a council or any other kind of committee that you're on. You're not allowed to stand in the grocery store and yak about something. And it's open to the public. So if anybody wants to know what's happening here, they're more than welcome to come.
And then once you read the book, you can ask us, we can help you if there's.
So
Do we have a copy of that book we can get to her, or do you have
Do you have yours?
a copy we can email?
I do not have.
It's in the-
everything I have.
It's on this box.
Oh, it's in the box. Okay, so we have a copy. Are you going to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Jan Peterson to fill Ross's, the remaining.
Sorry, Ross, but you're done.
Can I comment though? first?
No, we
Yeah,
don't look in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her make the motion, and I'm gonna do this the right way.
Okay.
You make your motion.
Okay, to fulfill Jeremy's remaining seat, which will end end of June next year, 27?
Yes.
June 30th, 2027.
All right, and now I'm gonna open it for comment.
You haven't got a second.
Oh, what did I
Did
say?
you get a
Do I
second?
have to get a second before comment?
Oh, yes. You
Oh,
have to
okay.
give it-
Is there-
I gave you that copy of the
I know.
laminated copy of-
Is there a second?
Yes.
All right, Elaine seconded. All right, Ross, open for discussion.
Jan, are you currently paid by the pool or are you volunteering?
Oh, I'm strictly volunteer.
Oh, she just helped out when Terry was gone on
That's a good
vacation.
one.
That was my.
We don't get
Yes,
her very often.
it's Terry, because of Terry's personal schedule a lot of times, and she has a lot of things to go to. They came to me last November, her and Jen both did, say, Jen, when we're not here, would you please teach a class? And I
Period.
said, as long as I don't get paid, 'cause I'm not messing up my income.
Right, well, and we have precedent, right, because Peggy was on the board for several years working as a volunteer, so.
Oh, yeah.
Volunteer is fine, but I understand you can't be paid for several
Correct.
years after,
Correct.
not just serving on the board even, so even afterwards.
Wanting to get paid either. But
I don't want to get that clear.
I think I told Jill and Amber that one, that I do not want that. Because Amber and I were talking about that, and I said, don't mess up my income.
All right, okay, so anyone else have a comment? Anything, good, all right, well, then, I'll call a vote, all in favor, Darla?
Aye.
Elaine? Ross?
Aye.
Me? Aye. Welcome to the board.
All right, see you next time.
Yay.
So there, we'll give you the book, so you can, have it to review,
There's some online training.
yes?
Okay.
The chair
Do I
will
just-
make you
do I
familiar.
just be in here still with you girls, or?
No,
Yeah, we'll get you set up.
Okay.
She's not.
Oh, you gotta, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine.
It's
No, I just said, yeah, plus.
Well, it's her book now.
It's yours though, like, if you want to take it.
No, I do not want that.
You want,
No,
you want
it's
a picture here?
You have to close that.
Jeremy, you don't want your picture?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Can-
do that.
Don't make the mistake I did. Take one like everybody else.
1 second,
I move that we adjourn.
is there a second?
Second,
All in favor, Darla?
aye.
Elaine?
What
Ross?
time is it?
Oh, sorry, can I make one more?
Wow.
There's a comment now from the YouTube. They're kind of delayed on there.
YouTube can make comments?
Yeah, I don't know
It's
how,
not live though, so.
it's live-ish. I don't know, do I have to just declare? Do you want me to read the comments?
Sure.
So it's from Olive Cousin 6173. This might be a good opportunity to send invitations to the charter school for any openings that become available.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know charter schools had openings, so that's a great idea.
Openings for
I
what?
don't know.
For payment for students. Oh,
Was that for,
I thought they meant sending invitations to the charter school.
For
meaning they
openings
wanted
in-
for swim lessons.
Swim
Right,
lessons.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
because they probably don't bring their third graders right now, do they? The charter schools?
Not the charter.
Sandridge doesn't?
Well, Sandridge does.
That's
Okay.
the only one.
Is there another charter in Lebanon?
No. I mean, we haven't
I guess they're all private.
expanded to the.
Yeah,
outside
like
communities.
Eastland Christian.
Yeah, we haven't expanded, but we could.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Great idea.
thank you
All
all.
right,
That's it.
Okay,
all right.
I think we talked about everything.
And everyone, Elaine made the motion, Darla seconded for adjournment. Everyone voted yes.
And as Tim pointed out correctly, if there is need for emergency meeting or
Not emergency,
Something.
just a secondary.
secondary meeting,
Yeah.
then we'll set that up. But I think probably we'll just do a good recap at the next meeting.
Which I think is fine, and if we do need a vote for something, we're already all in favor of the liner repairs, so.
Okay, good. That's what I want.
And because we could need to move money, so we need a vote to move money, so whatever follow-up we need to do.
I think it actually probably, if it goes forward and it's in the budget point we're in, as long as everybody's comfortable, then our August meeting is during the shutdown. We can use that to formalize. it.
Yep, absolutely, I think that's great. All right.
So now,
Sure.
Jeremy, thank